we're pushing to be a very, very powerful 1AA program that moves into the 1A status in a relatively short period of time.
The South Florida Bulls have lived up to all the hype and then some. Talent and team speed have opened eyes all over the world of college football. The Bulls are among the national leaders in offense and defense. Quarterback Chad Barnhart is the trigger man for a passing offense that's averaging some 230 yards per game. At Drake, the Bulldogs plan to keep it very simple. In fact, they'll try to bulldog it right down the field. Coming up, a classic case of run versus pass. The South Florida Bulls. They return to Tampa's Houlihan Stadium. Game number 3 in their history. The Bulls take on the Bulldogs from Drake University. The last time the South Florida Bulls played at home, they made headlines by rolling up some 80 points. But tonight, the Bulls take on an undefeated team in Division I AA in Drake. Hello again, everybody. I'm Al Keck. With me, the former head coach of Rutgers, former defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Doug Graber, and coach. Once again, it appears that the Bulls may have the advantage in talent, but Drake has all the experience.
Well, they certainly do. This Drake team comes into Tampa Stadium 2-0. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They're a veteran team. Of their top 50 players, 30 are juniors and seniors. They only travel with 3 freshmen. Good football team. South Florida, on the other hand, has a ton of freshmen. Of their top 50 players, 28 are freshmen, and they start 14. Big difference in experience.
Once again, look for the Bulls to put the football in the air, and no doubt about their main man. It all starts with the quarterback, Chad Barnhart.
Well, it certainly does, and Chad Barnhart, you can see the numbers. He's been very, very good in their opening 2 games of the season. He's a veteran, he's played at South Carolina, but he really gives this team great leadership and poise, and that's the most important thing that he brings to the table.
This is a very storied program for Division I AA in Drake. Once again, they come in undefeated, but nothing fancy about the Bulldogs here. They simply love to run the football.
Al, this is a meat and potatoes Midwest football team. They're certainly going to try to run the football. They run the football very, very well. Schimberg is going to be their all-time leading rusher this year, and in Jason Grove, they got a guy that's going to break his records. So they have 2 outstanding running backs and a fine offensive line.
So the Bulls come in at 1-1. They're coming off that heartbreaking loss to the Citadel. And Drake, 2-0, but they admit this may be one of their toughest games of the year. We'll have it for you, South Florida and Drake, after this.
Well, you might think of Dodge Caravan as a car, probably because in some ways it is. Its cab-forward, wheels-to-the-corners design makes it stable and sure-footed, a lot like a car. Its advanced suspension makes it nimble and agile, a lot like a car, with all the utility of a spacious 4-door van, all of which suggests we got the name right, Caravan. Now get up to $1,000 cash back during the Dodge Big Summer Clearance.
Hey, Heineken's giving away season tickets to one of Florida's NFL teams.
No.
Yeah, get this. I went down to my local participating Heineken retailer, checked out the contest display, snagged an entry form, and now all I gotta do is watch Sunday Morning NFL on Sports Channel, and I can win tickets to an upcoming game.
No.
Yeah, and get this. If my team runs back the opening or halftime kickoff, I win season tickets for 1998.
No.
Yeah. Hey, you want a Heineken?
Yeah.
See your local participating Heineken retailer for contest rules and regulations.
Today's Bulls game is being brought to you by the new Dodge. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you. By Aerial Communications. You called, we answered. By the Tampa Tribune, making a difference in our community. And by Transworld Diversified Services, transforming companies and careers. Once again, the Bulls looking for a good crowd tonight here at the stadium. Doug Graber, let's take a look at the Dodge keys to the game.
Well, certainly for the Drake Bulldogs, they play the turnover game. They've forced 3.5 turnovers a game, do a great job there. They're a running football team, as we mentioned. If they average 4 yards a carry on 1st and 10, South Florida's in trouble. And they also must be patient on defense. They're a zone defensive team. For the for South Florida. They must protect the ball. They've done a good job, that only 1 turnover a game. They must stop the big play action pass, and they have to have a third receiver step up for this offensive football team.
Once again, a good crowd here at the stadium. The Bulls home for the 2nd time in their history, and they will kick things off. Back to receive for Drake is number 22, Rico Chapman, and number 4, Jeff Boyer. And that is Chapman. Takes it at the 5. Good blocking by Drake, but Chapman lucky to get it to the 20-yard line as he is brought down immediately by the Bulls. Let's go down to the sideline, and our sideline reporter, former Pittsburgh and Kansas City tight end, Jonathan Hayes.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Al. The conditions down here are perfect. It's a perfect night. The field is in perfect condition. It'll be South Florida speed against Drake's experience. Back up to you guys.
I'll tell you what, Jim Levitt would love to have this guy in uniform tonight. He's huge. You know him from playing in Kansas City.
Well, he was a heck of a player for us. In fact, we drafted him out of Iowa.
So 1st and 10 for Drake from the 20-yard line. That is a running back, Jason Grove. Look for this team to run the football a ton. Let's take a look at the Tampa Tribune starting lineups for these two teams. For Drake, they are led by the senior fullback, Charlie Schimberg. Jennings, Westberg, Bell, the quarterback, Solon Bell, Grove, and Boyer. Up front, that's a huge offensive lineman in the guard, Gallagher, 325 pounds. Very small gain on the play, sets up 2nd down and long. That's the fullback, Schindler, who rumbles his way down to the 30-yard line. He is brought down by Brian Wilson of the South Florida Bulls. Now to the Tampa Tribune defensive starters for tonight. This is one of the top defenses in Division I AA football. Brett Avery already has 3 sacks on the year. Hatley, Edwards, and company. Demetrius Woods, the linebacker, leading a very young but very good group of linebackers, and Anthony Henry. Excellent free safety, had a touchdown in the opener. 3rd down and very short for Drake. This is a running football team, and they may have taken too much time. What a crucial mistake on 3rd down, Doug Graber.
Well, it sure was. And, you know, right off the bat, the Drake has come out with 3 totally different personnel groupings on their first 3 plays of the game. And I think that's a good plan against this young defense.
False start, offense, 5 yards, 3rd down.
Now, we mentioned it very early. This is an experienced team for the head coach, Rob Ash. But that is a big mistake on 3rd down. I tell you what, 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 6 are 2 completely different things.
Well, especially for Drake, a team that runs the football so well. 3rd and 1, they should make that about 9 out of 10 times.
Drake with 3 wide receivers to the left side, the 1 running back. 3rd down and 6. Bell going to the air for the first time, under pressure, gets it off, and the Bulls pull him down. That is Anthony Henry. On the catch, Jeff Boyer for Drake, and it sets up 4th down, and Drake is bringing its punting team on the field.
Right off the bat, Drake was anticipating man-to-man and ran a crossing pick route. They picked the strong safety, Roy Manns. That's exactly how the tight end got open.
Rob Ash, 2-0 this season. Let's take another look.
You'll see the tight end crossing the field, and he picks the safety right there, and the safety has to run around him. That creates some running room.
Back to receive the punt for the South Florida Bulls is Charlie Jackson, and punting is Lonnie Johnson for Drake. Very little pressure. A low kick. Jackson's got some room. Gets around 1 defender, but he's brought down just outside the 40-yard line. And the South Florida Bulls will get to touch the football for the first time. Just underway here at the stadium. Drake and USF.
Drake is the team that made the mistake, Al, and that's surprising with the penalty on 3rd and 1. And that's really given South Florida pretty good field position here at the 38-yard line to start this game.
There's your quarterback, Chad Barnhart. 3 touchdowns already this season. Really did not play that much in the season opening win over Kentucky Wesleyan as they blew out the Panthers by a score of 80-3. Played very well last week at the Citadel. He'll take over at the 39, 1st and 10. Play action. Barnhart going for it all. He's got Rivers wide open, and he just overthrows him. Oh, what a way to start things out.
Oh, man, he had a chance to make a great play, and Marcus Rivers is the fastest of all the South Florida receivers, and he really showed a burst in getting to that ball. This is his first start for a young football player, redshirt freshman.
If nothing else, they know they've got that play later on. Let's take another look, Doug.
Well, this will certainly get the attention of the secondary, Drake, I promise you that, because he flat ran by the safety in the corner here at the last second. Just the timing was just off.
2nd and long from the 39. It's Bishop in motion. The pitch. Clemens tries to get around the corner. He gets 3 yards, and he'll set up 3rd down and 7.
This Drake defense, and I was really impressed watching this Drake team on film this week. This team is very well coached on defense.
Here's a look at the Tampa Tribune starters. For the South Florida Bulls, Trevor Hippolyte. He's been a fine receiver at tight end for the South Florida Bulls. Barnhart, Dixon, Clemens, Jackson, Dell, and again Hippolyte at tight end. The offensive line, Ivan Alicott. He has really been the anchor for this very young group up front. 3rd down and 7 from the 42. Clemens in motion. Barnhart with good protection. Right off the hands of Clemens. Clemens has to make that play, and it looked like he would have had 1st down yardage. The Tampa Tribune starters on defense for Drake. Not the biggest group in the world, but it's an experienced group. Goody, of course, his father played in the NFL. Luke Ganson leading a group of linebackers for Drake. And Jeremy Fisher may be the best defensive player on the field for this Bulldog group from Drake. Back to punt for the South Florida Bulls, Tony Umholtz. It's a line drive. Grove will just let it bounce, and the Bulls say thank you. That's a big mistake, isn't it, Doug?
Well, it certainly is, and I've coached those punt return guys for many years. You've got to field that ball. You cannot give them an extra 10 yards on that punt, especially now it puts them inside the 20.
We're just underway here at Tampa Stadium, where the Bulls and Drake are scoreless in the first.
In case you haven't noticed, the Tampa Tribune has a brand new look with larger, easier to read type, more color and great photography, and quick summaries at the beginning of every article, all making it really easy to keep informed and entertained on a daily basis. And now when you subscribe for a year, you get the Gusto card, which saves you 25% at more than 100 Bay Area restaurants. It's an offer that helps you make the most of your money on the paper that helps you make the most of your time. And we know how busy you are. The Tampa Tribune. Get something out of it every day.
AutoNation USA presents Sunday Morning NFL, the most comprehensive coverage of Florida's 3 NFL franchises on Sports Channel's Sunday Morning Playbook. Get a complete preview of the day's matchups.
Like the Dolphins, the Tampa Bay Bucs are hot. Really hot.
What does Buffalo have to do to beat Miami?
Jacksonville in the driver's seat for the playoffs.
Tune to AutoNation USA presents Sunday Morning NFL on Sports Channel every Sunday at 10 a.m. Sports Channel is 100% pure Florida sports.
There's South Florida head coach Jim Leavitt, very much in thought right now. His team is 1-1, really believed it should have beaten the Citadel last week. On the other side, you have Rob Ash. He's in his 9th year, taking over a program there at Drake that does not give football scholarships. But Doug, you say it's a little bit not quite the case.
Well,
and the Bulls are right there to pull down the wide receiver for Drake, Jeff Boyer.
There's the South
Excellent
Florida
play
speed
by Anthony Henry.
There's the speed right there. Boy, you really saw it converging to that ball. And it's a little bit of a misnomer to call Drake a non-scholarship school. You know, they have a lot of football players that are there on academic aid. And also they have a lot of players that qualify for aid. They have 115 kids playing football. They were 8-3 last year. This is a good program.
Solon Bell going to have a very tough day against this young, quick South Florida defense. 2nd and very long. The handoff to his running back, that's Grove, over the 15-yard line, down to about the 17. So he gets a good chunk of that on 2nd down.
Well, that's the counter tray, and they brought the backside guard and tackle. And if you get the gap up inside, boy, 76 comes around. That's a nice job of him. You know, the safeties are making the plays. Now, if the safeties are making the plays all night against a running team, eventually you're going to get in trouble.
That's one of those good news, bad news.
Absolutely.
Eventually you're going to wear down. There's Brian Wilson, the sophomore linebacker out of Palm Harbor. They'll depend upon him to help stop this running game. 3rd down and 4 to the air. Bell for the first time. Quick pass. He's got his receiver down past the 35-yard line. That is Vince Giovanetti on the catch. Glenn Davis pulling him down on a key tackle, or else Giovanetti could have gone a long ways.
Well, he sure could have. And they caught him in a zone blitzer from the outside, so they got a zone vacated. That's exactly where the ball went to Giovanetti. Good job advancing the ball up the field. They hit the vacant zone. That's what you have to do against the zone blitzing teams.
That is a 20-yard gain, the biggest play in this ball game yet. They have a first down at the 37. Jim Leavitt's defense has given up very few big plays this year. That's the fullback, Schimberg, and he is brought down by Thurman Edwards.
This young guy, Thurman Edwards, he started his first game last week. He's a true freshman. He is truly going to be something special, I think, down the road. He can really run for a big kid. He's got great intensity. I was very, very impressed with that young guy last week.
He's a freshman out of Lake Wales. 6 freshmen starting on defense tonight for the South Florida Bulls. Still scoreless, still just underway here in the first quarter. Drake and South Florida. Good crowd here on hand at the stadium. 2nd down and 8. Rowe on the play fake, and that is the quarterback, Bell. Now, you talk about play action. You said play action. They're very good at fake me out right there. But look at the pursuit here. They didn't fool the Bulls.
Demetrius Woods, they got the corner there, but Demetrius Woods has got so much speed and burst. He runs really better than most safeties. He's got a chance to be a great player, and he certainly bailed them out there because they had the defensive end and had the corner down.
That is the 3rd loss this season. 3rd tackle for loss for Demetrius Woods. Actually, it's his 2nd sack on the season, and sets up 3rd down and 11 for Jim Leavitt. South Florida Bulls. The defense, with the exception of the 20-yard pass play, has played very well tonight. Quick hitter. That's the fullback. Schimberg has got plenty of green in front of him. Finally, it is Roy Mans collaring him down inside the 20-yard line.
Well, that's a classic example of running a quick trap. Wasn't even a trap. It was just a quick hitter. And the defensive tackle gets up the field here. Oh, they caught him in a stunt. I see exactly what happened. They caught him in a stunt, and that's why it went out the gate. And I'll tell you what, this Schimberg, he really runs with a good pad level. He is a very, very good football player. He's he's had 10 100-yard games rushing for them. You don't do that without being a good back.
6.6 yards per carry. I'll tell you what, it'll go up after that 38-yard rumble inside the 20. Rowe stopped immediately by the Bulls. Once again, Demetrius Woods.
You know, in studying the tape of this Drake team this week, you could almost see it coming, because this is an outstanding team that really, really executes. A veteran football team. Let's take a look at it. The guard got the block on the middle backer, Marshall Smith, and Demetrius Woods is on his own.
From the 16. 2nd down and 9. Fumble. Bell picks it up, gives it to his running back. Ain't nobody home except South Florida Bulls. Terrence Smiley leading a group of Bulls on the tackle.
You know, Terrence Smiley amazes me each week. He's 5'10", 220 pounds in there with all them great big guys, and boy, he makes a lot of plays, and he does it with his quickness.
He's another young man from Lake Wales. A lot of Lake Wales athletes on this team, Rob Ash's team. Rob Ash has done an excellent job in his 9th year, 57-24-2 on the other side. In his 3rd game as head coach, Jim Leavitt needs his defense to come up with a big stop here on 3rd and long. To the air, Bell on the quick look-in pattern. And someone zigged when they should have zagged.
Well, that's a nice job by Edwin Green at corner. He pressed the receiver, and he knocked him right off his route. It was a dead route right off the start. Edwin Green was up pressing, did a heck of a job. The receiver was going to run a deep post. He knocked him right off of it. Quarterback, you see him hesitate here. The receiver's done. All the timing's gone. Once you get your hands on those receivers, Al, the timing's done. Advantage to defense.
Chris Willis to attempt the field goal from the 25. It's a 35-yard attempt. He is 0 for 2 on the season.
He's the only freshman that plays.
And it is wide left. So the South Florida Bulls defense dodges a bullet, gives up some big plays, but the South Florida Bulls hold, and we are still scoreless before a good crowd at the stadium.
At Ariel, we got so fed up with the way other wireless phone companies treat their customers that we left our jobs to start our own company, built on a revolutionary insight. Be fair to people. Start with a handshake instead of a long-term contract. And don't charge 2 minutes for a 61-second call.
Yellow.
We just want to be the one wireless communications company you can actually communicate with. Introducing Ariel. You called. We answered.
Announcing an unprecedented opportunity from your South Florida Nissan stores. Now through September 30th. Boatloads of selected new 97 Nissans are available with $2,000 cash back model year-end incentives. $2,000 cash back on all new 97 Maximas, Pathfinders, Sentras, trucks, 200 SXs, and Quest minivans. For the best selection and the best deal, see your South Florida Nissan store today. This special $2,000 customer cash offer ends September 30th.
We're scoreless here at the Stadium Drake in South Florida. Let's go down to the field and our sideline reporter, Jonathan Hayes.
Thanks, guys. Right now, it's like a first round of a prize fight. They're feeling each other out, trying to get a feel for what's going to work for them. And right now, South Florida is going to go back at them. We'll see you in a little bit.
On the 20, 1st and 10, Clemens on the pitch. He is hit immediately, and something very rare for the South Florida defense. You see them pull down behind the line of scrimmage. Jake Wilson coming up to make the play.
You know, this is the largest crowd that Drake has played before since 1985, so these kids are pumped up and they're playing hard. Tacked the line of scrimmage. Boy, there's just nothing there. I mean, they got beat, they got off blocks and got to the football.
That was a play that has been very successful for the South Florida team so far this season, and Drake obviously scouted this team, knew what to expect. Clemens again, this time over the 20, fighting his way, and he's brought down by a host of tacklers. Leading the way, Tate Johnson and James Macris for Drake.
He had a little bit of a crack, but boy, it closed in a hurry. And, you know, again, I can't emphasize enough, veteran football players for a Drake team in a game like this. You know, and South Florida's had a great start in the first 2 games of the season, but this is a tough situation.
3rd down and 7 from the 23. 3 wide receivers for the Bulls. Barnhart on the blitz. Cannot get it away, and that very young offensive line cannot help Chad Barnhart as he gets nailed behind the line of scrimmage on the sack. Chris Goody with the honors for Drake.
Well, you know, Chris Goody, of course, his dad played for the Cardinals, was an all-pro offensive lineman, and that's an excellent job of getting up the field there. They rotated to a 3-deep zone at the last second, and I think that confused Chad Barnhart.
Tony Umholtz standing inside his own 5-yard line. He'll punt the ball away. Grove back to receive. Barely gets it away in time. Good spiraling punt, and Grove will call the fair catch. And for one of the few times in its history, the South Florida Bulls give up excellent field position as Drake will have the football. Rob Ash and company talking to his quarterback Solon Bell, and they will have the football near midfield.
You know what, Al, when these players line up in their stances and they're ready to go at each other, they don't ask one another whether you're on scholarship or not. I mean, they're just going to come off and play ball. And whether they're on scholarship or not, you got to give it to these Drake kids. They're coming off the football.
USF football isn't the only sport in Tampa making noise. Seth Greenberg's basketball Bulls will feature one of the top recruiting classes in the nation this season. In a tough Conference USA schedule. Ticket information on USF basketball. Contact the Sundome ticket office at 974-3002. The big run on 1st down. You talked about it, Doug Raber. The Bulldogs need to run the ball hard on first down, and there you got Grove with the big gainer and gets a first down.
Well, he sure did, and it was a missed tackle by Marshall Smith, but a poor angle. And they ran the stretch play it looks like the inside read, but really it's what's called the stretch play. It's going to bounce all the way outside. The middle backer, Marshall Smith, misses the tackle right there, and away he goes. That's Jason Grove. He's a good football player. He runs north and south, runs a 4.5 40.
So the Bulls gave up a 38-yard run the last time. The fake reverse, going deep, Bell. He's got a receiver wide open. Touchdown, Drake.
That was Jeff Boyer, and what a great throw by Solon Bell. I mean, he put that one right on the money. This is the third football game that this young guy has started. He's a sophomore. He was an outstanding player in high school.
Jeff Boyer with the honors. Beautiful fake, and Drake going deep.
Well, the reverse fake pulled up the safeties, and they had both safeties beat. And that's a 41-yard TD pass right off the bat. That's what a young football player would do. Both of the freshman safeties for South Florida bit on the reverse fake.
Chris Willis to attempt the point after. And it's good. So for one of the few times the South Florida Bulls defense gives up a big play that results in a score. The Bulls came in rated number 2 in the nation defensively, had not given up a touchdown as far as passing defense is concerned, and they give up a big one there on the 41-yarder. Jim Levitt frustrated with his defense. Let's go down to Jonathan Hayes.
Guys, this offensive line is just moving them out right now. They set up this play perfectly. They've been running and controlling the offensive line. Then they went to the play action with the reverse fake, and they hit it for some big yardage for the touchdown. And right now, Drake is taking control of this football game on the line of scrimmage. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Jonathan. You know, we talked about how this team loves to run the football. There you have Jeff Boyer, who just got the 41-yard touchdown pass. But Solon Bell came into this ball game as kind of a who really knows what to expect from this young kid. A lot of talent, but he's been inconsistent. Well, so far tonight, he is 4 for 5 in the passing department, 64 yards and the touchdown.
Well, his first game of the season, he was a little bit shaky, but last week he really started making some plays for him, especially in the play action, and boy, that's a great play right there. The reason they got him, he broke his leg in high school as a senior, and a lot of people pulled off of him. Drake did not, and they're thrilled to have him.
So that is a quick scoring drive for any team, but especially a team that loves to run the football. As Drake takes it right down, missed an opportunity on the field goal on the prior drive, but they come back with the big play, 41 yards and a 7-0 lead. This is Charlie Jackson to take the kickoff at his own 5. Tries to take it down the sideline. Quick feet, takes it near the 25-yard line, and the Bulls will have better field position there, 1st and 10. They trail 7-0.
You know, Al, this team, Drake I'm talking of, they were 5-1 last year against scholarship teams. So they're not overly impressed with all that rigmarole. And, you know, they've won a tremendous amount of games here. They're 40-11 in the last 6 years. So that they're an outstanding football team. And I think this team, I think this is the best team they've had. I would not be surprised at all to see this team win 9 games, 8 games, maybe more.
From the 25-yard line, 1st and 10, the Bulls trail it 7-0. Cliff Dell in motion. The pitch, Clemens. And once again, Drake just busting through, ruining any chance for a gain, making the tackle.
Well,
Jay Smirka.
South Florida's had a lot of success running the toss to the split end side, but obviously the Drake team is prepared well for this, and that's a great play by Smirka. And boy, they're really running to the football. You're seeing a little bit, I think, of the strength factor for Drake. They have older players, they have a great weight program up there. These kids right now look like they're controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football.
2nd down and long. From the 23. Barnhart with protection. Finds Dell near the 30-yard line.
That's the first throw that he's made tonight where he had what I would call clean protection. I mean, they weren't in his face. They weren't pushing the pocket in his face, and he had good vision. And you can see right here, this is a good job by the offensive line up front. Alcott, Cedric Bell, you know, no problem. Just like throwing 7-on-7. He had a great lane to throw that football in there.
Sets up 3rd down and 8. Barnhart again, good protection. Over the middle. Finds his tight end, Hippolyte. Look what I found.
Well, I guarantee it wasn't drawn up that way, but I'll tell you what, it's just as effective. It really doesn't matter.
Hippolyte, the leading receiver for the South Florida Bulls, 10 catches, 128 yards coming in. Check out the tip drill.
Yeah, right off hands into another one. You know what? If he could have just tipped it to Andy, we'd had a two-way tip, and down the field we go for a touchdown.
Well, you need to get them, you know, as a former coach, you need to get them to draw that plate up. It's a 17-yard gain.
Sure was. That was Scott McCready that tipped the ball up there.
From the 46, finally a big play for the South Florida Bulls. Barnhart on the blitz. Has it knocked away, and it was up for grabs.
Boy, and Jeremy Fisher was really coming hard for it. I think he is their outstanding player on their defensive team, number 3, their strong safety. He really looks like and reminds me of Pat Fisher for the old Cardinals and plays that way. Again, another blitz, missed block by the halfback. I think it was Jermaine Clemens. He tried to cut him and up over the top, and that's where the pressure came from.
Barnhart, 2 for 5, 22 yards. Jim Levitt, 1-1 as a head coach. Not used to seeing his defense, or excuse me, his offense stymied.
No, not too happy right now. Keep your poise. Let's just keep working.
Barnhart again under pressure. Lays it out there for Clemens. Fumbles the ball out of bounds.
Well, hey,
but they're nowhere near the marker for the first down.
He really had no chance. No chance. I've noticed something. South Florida's offensive line seems to be setting too close to the line of scrimmage for all these stunts that they're getting. They have to set back a little bit deeper in order to see the blitzes and stunts that are coming. They're running a lot of crossing stunts inside, and it looks like right now it's got the South Florida line a little bit confused.
Just over midfield. 3rd down and 5. The Bulls trail 7-0. Rob Ash's team hit a 41-yard pass last time the Bulldogs had the football. The Bulls would like to answer. 3 wide receivers. Right side. Barnhart. Scott McCready. That's good for a first down at the 40-yard line.
Well, that was a great throw and catch, and he really had heat from the backside and just barely got the ball off. 5-step drop, good set, looking to his front side read, and you'll see the heat coming from the backside. He gets it. Oh, that's perfect. I mean, right between the 8 and the 7. That's a great, great throw by Chad Barnhart.
Beautiful pass.
South Florida really needed something good to happen on this drive, and of course they got the one lucky play, and now all of a sudden they're moving the football.
Barnhart 4 for 7, 36 yards. First down at the 40. Again, they trail 7-0. Quick look. Again, look what I found. That's Clemens. Wasn't quite ready for that, but such a perfect pass from Barnhart, he had no choice but to catch it.
You know, Al, that's a great example of a young guy thinking and not just reacting. He was a little bit late getting to his route because the timing was there. Excellent throw by Barnhart, and I'll tell you what, Chad Barnhart is taking a pounding tonight. He's been hit on almost every throw.
2nd down and 2 from the 32. Jim Levitt's team trailing 7-0. Bishop in motion. Clemens finds a hole. Finds a bunch of green. He's got a touchdown. South Florida.
Boy, what a big play. You've got to answer the bell, and they certainly did it there.
Jermaine Clemens, 32 yards on the touchdown run. So big play matches big play.
You can't quite see it in the replay here, but the motion confused Drake. And number 1, Mike Gallagher, busted the motion assignment. That's why there was not a safety there to make the play. They busted on the motion, the safeties in their adjustment, and they caught him in it.
Steve Riggs, 11 for 11 on point afters, trying to tie the game, and that is no good. for Steve Riggs, and the South Florida Bulls will have to settle for the 7-6 ball game here with 10 seconds left to go in the opening period.
Yeah, Steve Riggs had been 11 for 11 going into that kick. And, of course, that's a bad time to miss one.
Let's go down to the field. Jonathan Hayes.
Well, I tell you what, guys, they set him up perfect. They've been passing. They got the pass rush to run upfield. They delayed draw it. He hit a crease, and he just went to the end zone. It was a perfect play. It was executed beautifully. Back up to you guys.
Jonathan Hayes is saying, you know, this is easy stuff when we've got all these big plays in the offense doing all the great stuff here on both sides of the football. Jim Leavitt's team has come right back. That had to be very important for his offense, his young offense, to come back after the touchdown and answer.
Well, it was huge. And really, it was really set up by the one play that on the tip ball on the key conversion. You see the safety there. He had missed his alignment and was trying to get back and couldn't do it. Had a crack. He could not fill the crack properly. Good job of Jermaine Clemens.
75 yards in 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Big plays for the South Florida Bulls on that drive. Riggs kicking off. Boyer, who scored the touchdown, takes it at the goal line. And the Bulls meet him at the 19.
Just what you're looking for in your coverage. You certainly want to get him inside the 20.
That is the end of the opening period. The South Florida Bulls have answered, but they still trail Drake by 1 at 7-6.
This is the car, the totally redefined Park Avenue by Buick. This is the closeout deal. Take a giant $1,500 cash back on Park Avenue now. Or choose financing as low as 2.9, 3.9 up to 60 months. Or choose a low $399 a month lease. No wonder new model sales are up over 50%. Park Avenue, $1,500 cash back. Lease it or take low 2.9 financing. Hurry to your nearest Florida Buick dealer now.
Powder or glazed? What do you think?
On the beach. Let's move it.
What about my donut?
You with the weights! Hey! Drop the weights.
Huh? He said drop the weights!
You didn't buy these at Jumbo Sports, did you?
No. Did I do something wrong? Yeah, you pay too much.
You're out of here.
Good call.
At Jumbo Sports, you're guaranteed the low price on everything you need for any sport.
Suspicious volleyball activity, 2 o'clock.
Let's move.
We are ready to open the second period of play. The South Florida Bulls answer. Big play for big play on the 32-yard touchdown run from Jermaine Clemens. The Bulls missed the point after. They now trail it by a score of 7-6. Rob Ash's team hit a 41-yard touchdown pass the last time the Bulldogs had the football, and they'll start things off at the 20. Quick hitter right up the middle. That is John Becker, the running back. He's a junior. Good gain on first down for Drake.
This is the third time tonight that they've hurt South Florida with a trap. And you see him right there come across. The trap on the defensive end. The linebacker's got to make the play. That's Brian Wilson. They have to come up with an answer on the quick traps that they've been hurting them with. Usually what the defensive coaches will do, they'll try to come up with some kind of an inside stunt.
From the 30. First down. Rico Chapman. He is hit very quickly by the Bulls. Jason Butler coming in from his middle linebacker position to pull him in.
Meat and potatoes. Nothing fancy about that. Meat and potatoes. You might notice that Drake plays with a stand-up tight end. When we get a chance to cover this a little bit later, we'll go to the reasons why they do that. Very, very unusual. Big hole. Oh, almost lost the football.
Rico Chapman had 3 touchdowns last week in the win over St. Norbert. From the 37. Again, it's Chapman. And he is hit immediately. Coming up to make the tackle for the South Florida Bulls, Steve Hadley and Jason Butler.
You know, I'm really surprised that early in the game how much Rico Chapman and John Becker are playing. They must be concerned with the heat and humidity with their senior running back, Schimberg. Pretty good push off the ball. Good push off the ball, but it closes in a hurry. You know, this is a running, meat and potatoes football team. They really execute with their offensive line. They come off the ball. They have 3 new starters in their offensive line, but none of them are young players. They've all been in the program.
3rd and 3. Fumble. And the Bulls have it. That's Mann. And he'll take it all the way for the touchdown, South Florida.
Whoa! Going in a hurry. That ball bounced right up to him. He did a good job of bending his knees and scooping that ball up, and he certainly knew what to do with it. And Anthony Henry is the finest athlete on this football team. That's a good guy for it to go to.
Anthony Henry on the touchdown. 41 yards on the fumble recovery, and the Bulls have taken the lead.
He never did get the exchange. Oh, good pickup. And I tell you, with this speed, forget it. He's gone. Gone. They have nobody that's going to catch him. I'm really surprised that Drake is playing their younger running back, Rico Chapman and John Becker, the 2 guys that haven't played quite as much so early in this game. Al, it has to be because they're concerned with the heat and playing the whole football game.
The South Florida Bulls will call a timeout. Very interesting situation here, Doug. They trailed 12-7. Remember, they had their point after miss the last time they scored the touchdown. Now I think they're going to go for 2 and try to take their 7-point lead.
Well, absolutely. I think you go for 2 here. You know, and all college football coaches have a chart in the box that they follow for what to do in these situations.
Let's go down to the field and Jonathan Hayes.
Guys, Drake is still controlling the line of scrimmage, and they're just really kicking them up front. But USF's team speed is incredible. They are just, when they recovered that fumble, they just pulled away from them. There was no one out there to catch them. I tell you what, if Drake stays after him, it'll be a close game, but USF is going to have to making big plays to stay in this ball game, I think.
I think that's a heck of a job of Jonathan on the field recognizing that. That's what I see up here too. Drake, even though they're down, they really have dominated the line of scrimmage, really on both sides of the football. And if that continues, you know, USF was fortunate right there. The ball bounced right up to them. They had the one pass through McCready's hands into Hippolyte. They're fortunate right now to be up, and they really need this 2-point conversion.
So the Bulls bring their regular offense on the field. They have 3 wide receivers, and they will go for the 2-point conversion. In motion, Dell. Barnhart with plenty of time. Tried to hit Charlie Jackson, no good, and the Bulls will have to settle for the defensive touchdown. But the Bulls have taken the lead on the 42-yard fumble recovery for touchdown by Anthony Henry. The South Florida Bulls lead it by a score of 12-7. We'll have more from the stadium and South Florida Bulls football right after this.
You missed your train, Pop. Don't know why I'm even going. I never sold these guys anything. Take this. I can live without that. If I could take you through some recent competitive history.
We don't need history. We need news.
New AT&T Digital PCS. Digital clarity, voicemail, even messaging all in one.
Funny you should say that.
Welcome to life on the world's most powerful network.
AutoNation USA presents Sunday Morning NFL, the most comprehensive coverage of Florida's 3 NFL franchises on Sports Channel's Sunday Morning Playbook. Get a complete preview of the day's matchups.
Like the Dolphins, the Tampa Bay Bucs are hot. Really hot.
What does Buffalo have to do to beat Miami?
Jacksonville in the driver's seat for the playoffs.
Tune to AutoNation USA presents Sunday Morning NFL on Sports Channel every Sunday at 10 a.m. Sports Channel is 100% pure Florida sports.
One more look at the touchdown by the South Florida Bulls, all thanks to their defense.
Just not a clean exchange. The back is not supposed to be looking at the football. The quarterback looks like he put it in, and the back did not close down on the ball with his hands. That's a horrible mistake for a Drake team that doesn't make many mistakes, and that's why they're down in this football game. And, you know, Al, a very, very interesting stat in the first quarter. Listen to this. 6 runs for 32 yards, almost 5.2 per rush for Drake on 1st and 10. We said if they averaged over 4, South Florida was going to be in trouble. They're really hurting them on 1st and 10.
Steve Riggs with the line drive kick. Chapman takes it at his 10, has some blocking. But the Bulls beat it, pulling him down at the 30-yard line. Roy Mans on the tackle for the South Florida Bulls.
Well, South Florida's definitely improved their kickoff coverage, and what they're trying to do, and they've done it very, very well so far tonight, Al, they are directional kicking and putting the ball down in the corner, which really, really helps the coverage.
That almost gives you, it's like giving another man, because you use the sideline basically as a defender.
Exactly. It really almost gives you two extra men, because the whole kickoff team will, take their angles into the corner.
On the kicking team, penalty decline, first down.
I'm surprised that they declined that penalty, because their position is just the 29-yard line. They're really afraid of the speed of South Florida, no question about that. Every coach I talk to from Drake, what are you concerned with? Speed. I'm worried about their speed.
Drake now down 12-7. They'll start things out at the 29-yard line. This Drake team has moved the football against the South Florida Bulls. Groves gets it over the 30. Not much there.
Well, that's the first time in the counter trap tonight that they have really sealed it inside and did not give that back a clear picture where he was headed.
Terrence Smiley on the tackle for the South Florida Bulls. We keep calling his number.
Backside guard and tackle. And Smiley, it amazes me week to week all the plays he makes.
He has played so many different positions for the Bulls. He's been a fullback. They put him just about everywhere. Jim Bird again. No place to go, and guess who's right there? Smiley again.
And Terrence Smiley, right from the get-go, was the guy that stopped this thing up. He had a gap control. He beat his guy to the gap and skated right down the line of scrimmage and made a terrific football play.
Well, they call him the Turtle, but he already has 8 tackles so far this season, 2 on back-to-back plays, and the Turtle may not be the fastest guy on earth, but he certainly gets the job done.
He looked like he was moving pretty good right there to me. That was a terrific job by that young guy. Young guy from Lake Wales, an engineering student. All-stater in high school. 430 bench. That helped.
3rd down and 7. The blitz. And the Bulls are right there. They pick it off. Now they're saying incomplete. Nearly picked off by the Bulls. Sean Hay nearly intercepted the pass. But either way, the Bulls defense right there on 3rd and long and forces a punt.
This is the defensive end pulling off on the back on the flare control. Almost, whoa! You know what? Defensive linemen aren't used to handling the ball very much, but he had a chance. That was a great effort by Sean Hay. It really was.
By the way, how about the play by Roy Mans to really set everything up as he hit the offensive player to force the ball in the air.
Strong safety blitz on 3rd down. Very, very effective right there. Very effective. Really just threw off the timing of everything.
Charlie Jackson near his own 35 to receive the punt by Lonnie Johnson. That's off the side of his foot. Very high, but not too deep. Hits at the 40. And the Bulls will have excellent field position with 11:20 left to go before halftime. The Bulls have done it on offense and defense. They lead the Bulldogs of Drake by 5.
What is Trans World Diversified Services Incorporated?
Whether you're a candidate for employment or you have a need for one of Transworld's variety of services, you are encouraged to become a part of a winning team. Transworld Diversified Services Incorporated. Transforming companies and careers.
feeling a little bit cooler right now as they have taken the lead 12-7 over the Bulldogs from Drake. Big plays from the Bulls, a 33-yard touchdown run by Jermaine Clemens and a 42-yard fumble return for touchdown by Anthony Henry. And the Bulls will have the football at their own 42, 1st and 10. Clemens right up the middle. Brought down by Smirka.
Well, they really have not been able to get much of a push with the offensive line tonight. They've made some big plays, but they have not consistently been able to run the football against this Drake defense. And I really am surprised that they haven't run more play-action pass on 1st and 10 up to this point. Smirka's a good football player, 270-pound senior. The other tackle is Scarless, 271-pound senior. Tough, hard inside players.
2nd down 6 from the 46. Barnhart on the pump fake. Pumps back the screen the other way. That's Clemens. He's got a 1st down. He's got a whole lot more. Now it becomes a foot race. Great block by Dell. How about Clemens? Brought down at the 15-yard line. Big gain. Another big play by the South Florida Bulls. Let's go down to Jonathan Hayes.
I tell you what, fellas, the momentum is really shifting. The big plays by USF's speed has just been incredible. It's made all the difference in the world. They're making plays left and right down here now. They're feeling the confidence. The crowd's behind them, and they're just starting to flow. Back to you guys.
A 38-yard gain on the pass play. Just to Jermaine Clemens.
Key block by Cedric Bell right there. That's where it started, right there. Terrific block for the big guy from Bradenton. That really set it up, and then Jermaine Clemens, speed.
From the 16, the pitch. This is Williams. Cuts it inside and finds very little. Jake Wilson on the tackle for Drake.
You know, all 3 of the South Florida tailbacks are banged up. Jermaine Clemens didn't look like he had a pulled hamstring, but he's got a sore hamstring. Raphael Williams is not still recovered from the foot injury in the opening game, and Brian Searcy's got a bad shoulder. They're very, very concerned about their depth and the injuries at the tailback position.
2nd down and 8. Remember, Williams started the season as the #1 tailback, scored a touchdown on the opening drive, but has been hampered by that foot injury ever since. Good protection. Tries to hit his fullback coming out of the backfield, Otis Dixon, and Dixon is not able to pull it in. Luke Ganson hits him.
And Otis Dixon made a classic mistake there, and he's certainly not the first one that's ever made the mistake. A lot of players have a tendency to want to leave their feet when the ball is coming to them and body catch it. And you got to keep you know, if you don't have to leave your feet, you certainly don't want to. Keep your feet on the ground. Yeah, that's exactly what happened up there.
Barnhart 6 for 10, 82 yards. The Bulls are at the 19, 3rd and long. Play action. Clemens again cutting across the field, and he's hit at the 12-yard line.
And we've got a flag on the field, Al. I think that there's a block behind the back out there. Let's take a look at it. Let's see if we can. It's a good move by Jermaine, but he wants to step back inside and get back outside. He does not want to cut back to the middle of the field. Jermaine, there's a lot of mean guys there in white jerseys that are going to try to hurt you. Son, make an inside move and get back up the field outside. He'll learn. That's a good way to learn right there, isn't it?
Jim Levitt's team facing a penalty.
It's a crucial penalty in this situation because they're right down to the 14-yard line.
If you're Drake, do you accept the penalty or leave it at 3rd and long?
I would take the penalty and get him back.
On the offense, decline, 4th down.
Well, you mentioned the speed. I guess not everybody's interested in the action on the field.
No, I really would have taken that penalty to get him out of field goal range, or certainly to make the field goal, you know, a lot longer attempt, 10 yards longer. I mean, you know, you got to have confidence in your defense that they can make the play. Again, it shows the concern for speed, no question about it.
Riggs 1 for 2 on the season on field goals. He's missed a point after tonight. At the 20-yard line, this a 30-yard attempt. He's hit a 27-yarder this year. It wasn't pretty, but it's good.
Boy, that's a big kick. That really changes the complexion of the game. Now, the missed extra point doesn't matter. They're a point up on the whole situation.
The South Florida Bulls settle for the field goal, a 30-yarder from Steve Riggs. And the Bulls own the 8-point lead at 15-7, 8:43 left to go in the first half.
Now it'll be interesting to see if Drake goes for 2, if they score or when they score again. I would bet that they would. You know, a lot of it depends on the juncture in the game. If it's really early in the game, sometimes you just disregard the sheet that you keep in the box. But all coaches are going to have that sheet that says, okay, if we're down by this many, do we go for 2 or 1?
And how often during the course of the game will you just throw that out the window and let emotion take over and go for 2 points or 1 point?
Well, early in the game, I think you do. And I always did. I never paid any attention to it really until we got to the second half. And a lot of times you just have to, just like Jonathan Hayes said, you have to have a feel for the game in terms of the emotions and everything with what's going on the field. That's how you base a lot of those decisions.
A big crowd here at the stadium. The South Florida Bulls home for the second time in their history. Place. And they own the 15-7 advantage. Riggs on the kick. Chapman back. And they say it went out of bounds at the 3. Flag goes down. One more look at the field goal.
Good snap, good hold. You know, you'd like to get a little bit more trajectory on the kick, but he got away with it. You remember, he had one blocked last week by 2 what we call leapers in the front, so he's got to get a little bit more trajectory on his kicks.
2 minutes, 36 seconds. The 30-yard field goal for Riggs. He is now 2 for 3 on the season. And the Bulls run their lead to 15-7. On the penalty.
That's the problem.
Drake will take the ball at 35.
Right, that's the problem with the directional kick sometimes. If you can't keep it in bounds, then they got the ball on the 35, and that's not good.
Bell, the play action. Goes back the opposite way. He finds his tight end. That's Ed Jennings. Big gain over midfield. First down and then some.
Okay, let's take a look at it. Play action on 1st and 10. That's what it's all about. Excellent throw to the big tight end, and away we go. You know what set that play up? That 5.1 per attempt on 1st and 10. That's exactly what they're looking for. Really sets up the play action. Makes it very, very, very tough on the South Florida secondary.
Well, it's a gorgeous replay. It was like playing cornerback on that play. You saw what the cornerback saw. 22 yards and a first down. Throw. Will he get around the corner? The Bulls converge and pull him down, but not before he makes a good gain again on first down.
South Florida has had real trouble stopping the run on 1st and 10, and right now it's setting up everything that they do. You know, on the play before, what happened was it was a full flow pass, and the backside linebacker has to look for the tight end crossing. He lost him entirely because he's concentrating so hard on stopping the run.
Jim Leavitt's defense has given up some big plays tonight. 2nd down and 4 from the 36. South Florida leads it at 15-7. The fullback, Schimberg, gets away from Smiley, spins his way for the first down near the 30-yard line. Let's take a look at our ESPN Plus update on the scores from around the country. The Florida Gators.
Florida State.
Peyton Manning and company. 33-20, the Gators #1 in the ESPN poll. And Florida State winning a tough game at Clemson. That's always the tough place to win.
Death Valley.
Penn State rolling over Louisville. North Carolina, rated #6 in the country, beating Maryland. Michigan over Baylor by a ton. Michigan State, I'll tell you what, Bob Davie having a tough time in Notre Dame. That is not a good place to have trouble, believe me.
You know, Jim Coletto, the offensive coordinator, is a good friend of mine, and he really thought last spring that Notre Dame was down talent-wise.
Arkansas wins on one of the final plays of the game at Alabama. Mike Dubose can't afford to lose too many. Dubose used to coach with him here in Tampa Bay.
He sure was. He coached the defensive line for me in Tampa, and that's a shocking upset. And, you know, Mike Dubose played for Danny Ford.
From the 32, 1st and 10. Schimberg in motion. Grove may pass. He's got a wide receiver wide open. He had Giovanetti at the 5.
Whoa!
He had a step on his man, and that would have been 6.
You know what? And I thought he might have even had another option to throw to the backside. Look at that. As you can see, he's kind of smiling in the huddle right there, but he sure wished he had another chance to throw that one.
Let's go down to the field and Jonathan Hayes.
Guys, this drive is so important for Drake right now. They got to get points on the board. They want to get 6, but if they can get 3, it's important to change the tide for Drake Bulldogs. Back to you guys.
From the 32, 2nd down and long. Grove finds a crease over the 20-yard line. Again, another 1st down, and this team is really rolling up the yardage on the ground in early downs.
This is the strength and experience of this offensive line, and right now they definitely have South Florida on their heels. They've dominated the line of scrimmage really the whole night long, and I really had a concern coming into this game because I was so impressed the way this Drake offense really, and their defense too, but boy, these kids execute. They really do. They're strong. They've been in that weight program 5 years.
1st down at the 20, 13-yard run for Grove. Bulls lead at 15-7. Bell to the air. Hits his receiver. That's Boyers. He fumbles the football. It appears Drake got it back. Although the Bulls are saying they have the football. I don't know.
You know, the turnover game has really been interesting. Drake is the one that we would expect not to be fumbling the football all over the field. That's their 3rd fumble tonight, and they've recovered 2 of them.
Again, you're playing cornerback.
Yeah, this is a quick little flanker screen out here, and the other wide receiver's blocking. And that's Glenn Davis, puts his helmet right on the football, and out it goes. That's just good defensive football. That was not really a fumble. That was caused by the defense. Glenn Davis, you know, he's played. I mean, he played at Purdue as a true freshman. He's lined up against Notre Dame. He's played against a lot of good football teams. He's a good football player. That was a big play there. Now it's 2nd and long.
He also played at Dixie Hollins High School, the home of Jim Levitt. From the 19, 2nd down and long. Grove finds a slight crease, and he is tackled by Thurman Edwards.
Here's the first time this year South Florida just put their dime defense on the field. That's the first time they've done that this year. Key, huge 3rd down play. They wanted to get more speed yet on the field. Now they've got 7 defensive backs out there.
Rob Ash, as Jonathan mentioned, would love to get a score right here, trailing 15-7, 5:16 left to go in the 1st half. 3rd down and 7. The fullback doesn't get it to the 15-yard line, and this will set up 4th down and a field goal try. Jim Levitt, do you think you'd look for a smile here in a situation like this from the coach?
No.
You don't want to smile, even though your defense is just forced 4th down?
No smiles on the field in that situation. He's angry that they got there in the first place.
Chris Willis to attempt the field goal. They'll mark it at the 23, a 33-yard attempt. Remember, Willis missed one earlier. Flags down.
Okay, it's 4th and 6. So, you know, if this was against South Florida, they still would be short of the 1st down. It may be against Drake.
That may take them. And now all of a sudden this field goal.
False start. Offense. 5 yards. 4th down.
Let's see if we can catch who moves. Somebody jumped in here. Up the left tackle. There it is right there. The left tackle jumped, and he reacted to this. You know, they're too much of a veteran team to do that. He reacted to the South Florida player pumping his arm.
This now becomes a 38-yard attempt. Chris Willis, good snap, good hold. And a is just enough. It's good. So you mentioned how important it was, and Jonathan mentioned this as well, how important it was for Drake to get a score there on that drive to kind of answer, and they do it, now trailing 15-10.
Absolutely, and the true freshman, that's the only true freshman that Drake has that really plays, and he answered the bell there, a 38-yard field goal all the way from the left hash. That'll do wonders for that young man's confidence. He was 0 for 3 on his field goals coming into that kick.
4:12 left to go before halftime. The South Florida Bulls in a good tussle here with the Bulldogs of Drake. Jim Leavitt's crew came back from a big play defensively on a 41-yard touchdown pass from Bell to Jeff Boyer that gave Drake a 7-0 lead, but then Clemens goes on a 32-yard scamper to cut it to 7-6. One more look at the field goal.
Good snap, but boy, they really turned the football. Laces away from the kicker. Good job with his head down, bang, he knocked it through.
38 yards, 44 yards on the drive overall.
Now, you can just see it coming. This is going to be a dogfight. This is really going to be a dogfight all night long. If Drake can continue to run the ball like they have, it's going to be a heck of a game.
It's a high kick, but short. Jackson, he's got a lane. He's at the 40. Over midfield, Charlie Jackson counters for the South Florida Bulls. Coming back from that field goal, they will get the football at their own at the Drake 49-yard line.
He had a huge seam up the sideline here. This is the first time Charlie Jackson has really had some daylight. He's a young freshman. He's been struggling a little bit to make plays. That's good to see him make a positive play. That'll do wonders for his confidence. Although don't want to see that ball on the ground.
A 39-yard return from the 49 of Drake. First down and 10. The Bulls lead at 15-10. Quick pass with a marker down. On the reception, Corey Porter.
The nose tackle for Drake jumped just prior to the play. I think he touched the helmet of the center. Yep, definitely. He was definitely encroached the neutral zone. No question about that call. Now, they take the penalty or they take the play?
Offside. Defense. Penalty decline. Second down.
Well, it'll set up a 2nd and 1. How about the experience of Barnhart to call the snap as he saw the penalty unfold?
Yeah, that's what you get out of a veteran. That's a terrific job there. He's been playing football. He's been on the field at South Carolina. He's been in big crowds. He's really a poised leader.
From the 40, 2nd and very short. 3:40 left to go in the first half. Clemens behind a block. It appears he has a first down. Joey Sipp leading the way, just enough to get Clemens through the hole.
Yeah, they pulled the backside guard on that. He kicked out at the point of attack. Let's take a look at Joey Sipp coming on the backside. Jermaine's right on his hip, but the hole is filled very well by the linebacker. Go game. Not much of a play at all. Well, I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with this Drake football team. They are so solid. Their gap control up front is so good. When they stunt, everybody's in the right gap. They're a good football team. They're going to win a bunch of games this year.
From the 38, 1st and 10. The fake. Barnhart tries to hit Hippolyte. Nearly picked off.
He just flat dropped it. I mean, he had that ball right in his hands.
Jake Wilson shows why he's a linebacker and not a fullback.
You know, Al, there's a reason all those guys play defense. All those defensive backs and all those linebackers, if they had great hands, they'd be on offense.
Well, he wasn't the only one to miss it because Luke Ganson also had his chances, and he's a middle linebacker.
That's very, very well played, though. That's how you create turnovers. You force an indecision by the quarterback.
2nd and 10 from the 38. The draw. Clemens, good speed. Keeps those feet going. Very close to the 30-yard line. Ganson again on the tackle.
This is just a draw play, and Jermaine Clemens has got some burst. Well, that's a good hole right there. And I'll tell you what, Otis Dixon, and we don't mention him much, he is a heck of a blocker. I studied films of him. He had a great game against the Citadel last week. He's a tremendous blocker.
Of course, Dixon and Clemens have been playing in the same backfield for years and years and years. They played their high school football at Clearwater High. Jim Levitt's team on the march again from the 31. They're up 15-7. 3rd and 3. Barnhart tries to hit Dell. Dell is nailed immediately. Pass incomplete. Ganson has made 3 big plays in a row.
Yeah, he really did. That was excellent timing by the defense. Dell did a good job of getting himself in position where he had a first down if he catches the football. Excellent timing by the defense.
All right, you go for it on 4th down. The Bulls coming into the game 3 of 4 on 4th down conversions. Jim Levitt has shown it very early in his head coaching career. He will go for it on 4th down. He'll try it again here. 4th and 3. Barnhart tries to hit Dixon, incomplete. And Dixon was open.
He was open, and that's one of the few throws that you're going to see him miss. And and it really does look like he tried to guide this football in. He might have been trying to look off the safety downfield. Yeah, he just tries to fit it in there. Sometimes you just got to rear back and throw it. He knew he had the first down if he makes the throw. Chad, just take your drop and throw it in there. Don't try to guide it.
You know, you talk to quarterbacks, they tell you that is one of the toughest throws to make is that little touch pass to the running back coming out of the backfield, because especially on 4th down, you start to think about it instead of just firing it.
Absolutely. You see it happen all the time.
1st down from the 31. Play action again, Bell. He tries to hit his fullback.
That's a great job by Roy Manns, the safety. That time on the play action, South Florida really picked up that's one of the hardest things in football to do, is to, when you're a safety, to pick up the backs that are coming through the backfield man-to-man. Solon Bell, 4 out of 7, not bad. He really had no place to go with that ball, Al. That was very, very well played by Roy Manns, the young redshirt freshman, strong safety, big hitter, out of Clearwater, Florida, East Lake High School. Played in the 96 North-South All-Star game. He's a good physical football player.
From the 31, 2nd and 10. Grove bounces off one tackler, and Woods pulls him down.
I'll tell you what, South Florida is going after him. That was another blitz. They're not afraid of this team. They're going to play their defense. They're blitzing. They're stunning. They almost caught him with it right there. That's about a 7-yard gain. Sets up a 3rd and 3. Another key situation.
1:33 and counting left to go in the first half. The Bulls lead at 15-10. From the 38, 3rd down in 3. Grove is met immediately. How about that defense? Derek Basiglio coming in. The junior from Plant City with the big-time tackle.
Great penetration on 3rd down. No place to go. I'm really surprised that if they're going to run the ball on 3rd down that they don't spread them out a little bit more.
Here's what we have at halftime. We will talk to the president. We will talk to, not Mr. Clinton. He's too busy with Chelsea at Stanford. But we have Betty Castor, the president at the University of South Florida. We'll talk about this game. We'll talk to the running backs coach, former Buccaneer Calvin McGee. Of course, we'll have highlights and stats. A lot of highlights in this first half as the South Florida Bulls lead this by a score of 15-10. 63 seconds left to go in the first half. 4th down, and Drake appears ready to punt the football away.
This has been some outstanding college football in this first half. Crowd has been into the game. Another great turnout for South Florida. I'm continually amazed at how far this program has gone in such a short period of time. It's really amazing to me, Al. And, and looking at the big picture, I don't think it's going to be too long that South Florida is going to completely pass up University of Central Florida. And I'll tell you why. 2 things. 1, this attendance, and 2, South Florida is going to be in a conference, and you have to be in a conference in college football today.
Central Florida, of course, has played very well this season. As you see some fans, that is Derek Basiglio's family. His sister is a swashbuckler. The punt Jackson will take it at the 28-yard line. And the Bulls will get the football at the 30 with 52 seconds left to go in the first half.
That's not a good decision. Charlie Jackson, he really makes me nervous back there. He's got to make earlier decisions, and he's got to get to that football. He can't let it bounce around. That almost hit Cliff Dell in the back. If he's not going to field it, he's got to get his blockers out of the way so you don't give up a cheap possession.
Well, seeing the way you dance up here when he's going after that football, they haven't taken the coach out of you yet, Coach.
He's making me nervous back there, I'm telling you.
From the 30, 1st and 10. Okay, if you're the Bulls, do you sit on this, or do you try to make a play here?
If it was my decision, I think I'd be very conservative right here. You're on your own 30, 50 seconds to go.
Barnhart under pressure. Gets it away. Clemens not able to hold on. It was interesting. They let the play clock go all the way down to just about the end before they snapped the ball.
That was interesting, and you know, I don't know. I think although that was a safe play right there. It's not like they're throwing it all the way down the field. And they're a throwing team. They are a throwing team. That's what they do. That's what they practice. So you know they have confidence in their ability to do that. I would sit on the ball a little bit more now.
Well, you're a defensive coach. From the 32nd down. Barnhart, good protection. He's got Charlie Jackson near midfield. With 40 seconds left to go in the first half, the Bulls would love to get into field goal range.
You know what? It's really fun to watch these young players, and they make a couple plays, and their confidence just soars. That was a heck of a catch. Charlie Jackson was their best receiver in training camp. He's been struggling a little bit.
18-yard gain.
They just simply hit the inside route here, the 18-yard in route.
Barnhart hits McCready. How about McCready, the freshman, fighting to get out of bounds and stop the clock? Good play by the freshman from King High School in Tampa.
Yeah, and Jim Levitt just said right there, hey, we can throw this football. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to get down the field and try to get some points here. Now 30 seconds to go. This shows a lot of faith in your quarterback, though, where you know he's not going to make bad decisions and give them a cheap field position or a cheap score by making a poor throw. Excellent read, excellent timing. Grady does a good job of get out of bounds. That's a baby. Get out of bounds and stop that clock. Terrific.
From the 45, second down, 30 seconds left to go. The Bulls would love to add a score and momentum just before half. Barnhart, all the time in the world. He's got McCready right over the middle. He's at the 25, breaks away. What a move by McCready at the 10, fumbles it. Oh, tough play for the South Florida Bulls. Drake dodges a bullet.
Oh.
And that says it all by the fan. I can't believe this.
I feel the same way. They're in field goal range. That cost them 3 points. You know what? You got to give the young guy credit, though. He's making people miss. He's trying to make a play. Another outstanding throw by Barnhart. McCready gets up and gets it. Maybe he's going to be the third receiver that surfaces tonight. Good move right here. You know, wide receivers aren't used to being downfield. He almost lost it right there. He got stripped from behind. That's a shame.
We have a South Florida Bull, I believe. No, it is a member of the Drake Bulldogs that is down on the field at the 30-yard line. And both training crews are attending to him.
That looks like a cramp to me.
That's Jeremy Fisher.
They're checking a knee. Oh, boy, that would be...
Boy, they would not want to lose him to a knee injury.
They're checking his knee. And this guy really is the cornerstone of their whole defense. He is an outstanding football player. He's got a lot of pro scouts in that have been in to see him this year. Even though he doesn't have great size, he's 5'11". He's about 200 pounds. But, boy, he's a tough, physical football player. He's got great eyes and great instincts. This would really be sad if he has hurt his knee as a senior. I hope he can get up and get off on his own and be all right. But, you know, they already lost their second-best defensive player last week in Fultz. You know, you can see right here, if you just watch one thing, when he makes this second move here, he's a little bit loose with the football right there. And somebody caught him from behind, and there comes the ball. He punched it out. That is a great job by Macris. What a terrific job. He just saved his team 3 points. That's the little things that a veteran football team can do.
Well, Fisher is leaving the field. He's not putting any weights on that knee.
Oh, that's not a good sign. I hope he's okay. You know, they just lost their best defensive lineman, Fultz, last week to a high ankle sprain, and he's really going to be out for an extended period of time. That would be quite a blow for this fine Drake football team.
Rob Ash's defense dodges a bullet. The Bulls are literally staring at a touchdown with 16 seconds left to go in the first half. And Drake is going to take no chances at the 20-yard line. This has been a wild first half. I don't blame them.
Well, they're going to say, hey, we're just going to get in here and let's take it to the barn right now. They've played a good half of football. They've had a couple of bad things happen to them. Boy, this has been a great half, and the fans here have sure enjoyed it.
And what that means, let's get ready for yet another great half of football. If the first half was this good, you can imagine what the second half is going to be. We've got pom-poms galore here at Tampa Stadium, where the South Florida Bulls lead 15-10 at halftime. Both teams making their ways to the locker room. Coming up, we will have the president of the University of South Florida, Betty Castor. We'll also take a look at halftime highlights and stats, and believe me, there were plenty of highlights, plenty of big plays. A 41-yard touchdown pass to get things started for Drake, a 32-yard touchdown run by Jermaine Clemens that brought the Bulls to within 7-6. Then a 42-yard fumble return by Anthony Henry that gave the Bulls the lead for good at 12-7 in the second period. Riggs hit a field goal. Willis has hit a field goal from there, and it's 15-10 South Florida Bulls at half.
Well, you know, one of the most important things that they have to do now, both these football teams, they have to really put some fluids in their bodies here at halftime to try to get away from cramps. And, you know, they may even take some of the linemen and put an IV bottle in them. I don't know their philosophy on that. But I would say the Drake team, even more than the South Florida team, is a little bit concerned with this humidity. They're certainly not used to this.
It's a very muggy night here in Tampa. A warm night, slight breeze, but right now the South Florida Bulls like what they have so far as they lead Drake, a Division I AA team, by a score of 15-10. Let's go down to the field. And Jonathan Hayes.
Well, I wonder if I could make them a little bit faster here at halftime, if I could. The speed by South Florida is really impressive. They do a great job. We can't run any faster than we're running. Otherwise, I think we're in a ball game with them.
Thank you, Coach. Guys, Coach just feels that he needs to nullify their speed a little more, and if he keeps running right at them, I think they'll be able to do that. Back to you guys up in the box.
Jonathan Hayes on the field. Rob Ash says it all. He says he wants to make his team faster at halftime. Speed playing a big part of this football game. The South Florida Bulls lead at halftime by 5. 10, second home game in history for the South Florida Bulls. Let's take a look now at the aerial halftime highlights, and believe me, there were plenty of them. We begin with big plays by Drake.
Excellent fake by Solon Bell on the reverse. Boy, he just set that up beautifully, and then he made a great throw. The Drake coaches think he's going to be a great player.
That gave Drake a 7-0 lead, but the Bulls in this young offense comes right back, Doug.
That's Jermaine Clemens, and really the motion set that play up because the safeties got confused on their adjustments to the motion. Good job of sticking it in the end zone.
Moments later, the defense lends a helping hand, and then some.
Heads up by Anthony Henry. Good job bending his knees, scooping up the football, and Al Spade. Nobody's going to catch this young guy. He can flat go. Great track athlete in high school, basketball, terrific athlete. He may be a great safety here one day.
That gave the Bulls a lead at 12-7, and they have owned it ever since. Taking a look at the stats, with the exception, one team's a rushing team, one team's a passing team. Things are fairly close.
Yeah, the yardage ends up being equal. They just use different routes to get there. And one of the key stats that's really not on there, 2 fumbles by Drake. They lost the key one that we just saw on the highlight. And South Florida continues to amaze me. They don't turn the ball over. They had the 1 turnover late in the half, which cost them a 3-point attempt.
Today's halftime activities have been brought to you by GTE, the official communications consultant to the NCAA. By the Tampa Tribune, making a difference in our community. ready to kick things off for Drake. Chris Willis, he has a field goal. And back to receive for the South Florida Bulls, Charlie Jackson and Marcus Rivers.
Their last kickoff return, they really gashed him on a sideline return. They double-teamed at the point of attack on the sideline, got a huge kickout block, really set up a big sideline return.
An excellent first half. Both teams had big plays. Both teams played some excellent defense at times. Once again, the key, I think, for that Drake defense is making sure that they don't lose too much in losing Fisher, who left with, we're not sure what the injury was, but it was definitely a leg injury. And it'll be interesting to see if he's back out on the field, although I would doubt he would be. So the second half is underway. This is a short kick. Rivers will take it at his 14. Spins past defenders at the 25, makes it over to about the 26, and coming up with the tackle is Becker.
You know, we had a little bit of a delay to start the second half here, and I'll tell you what happened. The phones on the sideline, the communication from the press box to the sideline at South Florida were out. So then, as the college rule states, Drake has to take off their phones. So now nobody has phones, and that's tough when you lose your communication from upstairs. It really is.
From the 32, 1st and 10. South Florida Bulls leading by 5. The running back has very little room. Tripped up immediately. Clemens on the carry.
Yeah, well, that was a pinch by the left defensive end, and he pinched right down inside, and there was absolutely no place to go. You know, this is a game that goes on between the coaches. You know, what are you doing on first down? What are our stunts going to be on first down? The Drake won the computer game that time, and it's all done by computers before you head into the game.
From the 29, 2nd down and 8. Barnhart, good protection. He's got Dell. Nearly picked off. I'll tell you what, Noah Joseph appeared to have a beat on the football, and he had nothing but green in front of him, and if Dell makes the catch, he has nothing but green in front of him.
He's gone. You know, that's really a tough catch by the receiver, because Joseph flashes here and really has an opportunity to make the play, but he flashes right in front of the ball, and it's almost impossible for that receiver to pick the ball up again. That's a very tough play, especially in a night game. Boy, again, you can see why these guys are playing defense. I coached defense my whole life, and it gets frustrating.
From the 29, again, 3rd and long. In motion, Clemens. Here comes a blitz. Barnhart had Dell at the 40. The key word, had.
Yeah, he sure did. He had him for a big one. And right off his hands, and I'll tell you what, Cliff Dell has been the most sure-handed receiver for South Florida that they have in the first 2 games. He had a great opportunity to make a play here. That would have been a tough catch. That's why you'd like your receivers to be 6'4" if you can get them that tall, but that would have been a tough catch.
Tony Umholtz standing at his 15. He will punt the ball away. Grove back to receive for Drake. Drake peeling back for the return. Grove at the 35. Trying to be chased down by Dell, and Dell pulls him out of bounds. 13:48 left to go in the 3rd period. The Bulls own a 5-point lead over Drake. Drake with excellent field position at the 45. 1st and 10. Quick pass. Tries to hit Giovanetti. Actually, he did hit him, but not in the hands.
Well, that was well played, though. Brian Wilson did an excellent job of knocking the receiver off his route on the crossing route. And with all the success they've had with play action and running the football, I'm a little bit surprised that they started a series with a drop back pass.
You had mentioned how they've been so effective, averaging more than 5 yards a carry on first down. And that really sets up the entire series for you.
Oh, it sure does.
Now it is 2nd and 10 from the 45. Grove nailed immediately. Big time tackle. Once again, Demetrius Woods.
Well, again, that was a stunt. Excellent job. The computers are really working for both teams. Second and long, you got your charts in the press box and on the field. You know what kind of stunts you're going to call. They ran right into the weak side draw, no place to go.
Let's go down to the field. Jonathan Hayes.
Guys, I just talked to Jeremy Fisher. He was in a knee brace. He's going to be out the rest of the game. He's going to miss 3 to 4 weeks. He just had taken his knee brace off for the first time today in this game. So it's a tough break for that young man. Back to you guys.
3rd and long. Fell going deep. Nobody home. And the Bull defense holds. Let's go back to that great tackle by Woods.
You see the stunt. The fullback is trying to kick out Woods, and Woods comes underneath the block and has enough penetration. There's just no place to go. They certainly won that battle right there.
Jim Levitt's defense holds, sets up 4th down. Remember, his defense inherited really tough field position, at least excellent field position if you're a Drake fan. But they actually lose yardage on the play. Back to punt. It's a very high spiraling kick. Jackson calls for the fair catch at the 26, and decent field position for the Bulls as they get the football for the second time in the second half. They lead it by 5 at 15-10.
Excellent decision right there by Charlie Jackson.
12:54 left to go in the 3rd. The South Florida Bulls leading Drake at home by 5.
People, you guys are gonna love this phone. It is feature packed. Oh my, it is. 7 free and easy payments of $26.89 and 18 months of double half price on off-peak rates on evenings for 17% off. Whoa! And don't be confused. That's a real antenna. Come on, you guys. We're almost out of time. Please give us a call.
Don't think so, because GTE Digital service is simple. $35, 250 local minutes. Use them anytime. No smoke, no mirrors, no wires. GTE Wireless.
Returning to college doesn't have to be frightening if you've been out of school for several years. Transferring from another college doesn't have to be a frustrating experience. USF's convenient locations, flexible schedules, and simplified admission process make that first step towards your educational goals an easy one. USF's adult and transfer student services will guide you through the transfer process. USF is designed to serve you. Spring classes began January 5th, 1998.
The South Florida Bulls getting right to business on 2nd and long. Quick pass, right side. That's Rivers on the catch. Close to the 1st down marker.
You know, Rivers, that's the second play he's made tonight. And I must say, he has not played a great deal up to this point in the season. But he's really shown me something tonight. They may be developing an outstanding 3rd receiver right here, because I really think it's important for this offense.
He's about a yard shy. That sets up 3rd and very short. From the 36. Will they get fancy here, Doug?
Well, I'm not going to predict this one.
They don't. They give it to Clemens, who may... Oh, it appears he has a 1st down.
Good penetration by the Drake defense. But Jermaine Clemens, with a quick feet, just a little sidestep, and did have a crack, found it, got the 1st down. Good awareness that it was 3rd and 1. A lot of running backs, you know, they don't understand how crucial the situation is.
Well, I may have spoken too soon. They may come out and measure this.
Yeah, on the spot. I think they might have bounced forward a little bit on the spot. I don't know what kind of spot they got here. These are
piece of cake. We told you. We told you that minutes ago that this was a 1st down. How can we see that up there and they can't see that down there?
You know, and we are up there. We're on the 4th level of the press box here at Tampa Stadium. And I'll tell you what, it's a long way to the field from here. That's good eyes, Al.
Well, we've had a couple of nosebleeds. From the 38, 1st and 10. The Bulls leading 15-10. Quick pass. Dell tries to cut it inside, and he gets nailed. Noah Joseph and Jake Wilson out there on the tackle.
Good pursuit by Drake. That's a flanker screen. They got 3 wide receivers out there. Dell steps and sets back. The other 2 block. They get beat on the block right there. Marcus does, and really no gain.
2nd and very long. Clemens tries to bust it outside. If he can turn the corner, he's got a lot of room. He's finally able to do it, but he's knocked out of bounds.
Well, that's an impressive play because really he had a no-gainer, and Cedric Bell amazes me. This young guy is really, watch this big guy pull here. I'm talking about a 300-pound guy in the open field. Look at that. He is really an athlete. He's a redshirt freshman. He is going to be an outstanding player one day. 6'3", 305. You know, his shoulders are so big, they had to order him a special shoulder pads to fit him. I mean, he is a big guy.
Clemens with 58 yards so far tonight from the 42. 3rd and 4. The pump fake. Barnhart going deep, looking for Rivers. No flag at the 20-yard line.
That's an excellent call by the official. You got to let the guys play. They're all playing for the ball. They're going to get tangled up as long as they have their eyes back to the ball. Let them play football. Let them go for it. They tried to set up they faked the flanker screen and then tried to beat the safety deep. You know, these Drake secondary is so disciplined. It's very difficult to get big plays on them. They really are. They're veterans and they're disciplined.
Tony Umholtz, a 47-yard punt, the longest. Standing at his 28. And the South Florida Bulls call a timeout. 10-10 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And the Bulls own a 5-point lead over the Bulldogs from Drake.
What have you been doing? We've been trying to call you for years.
Wait a minute. Where's your phone?
You left it, you Dornick.
Earth isn't ready for this technology. You're going back.
You just better hope they haven't gotten a hold of it yet.
Call 1-800-801-2100. Primeco. Someday, everything will work this well.
He was the first head coach in football history to win both a Super Bowl title and a National Collegiate Championship. He's one of only 2 active coaches who've led a team to 2 Super Bowl titles. He's one of the NFL's most successful head coaches. He's Jimmy Johnson. And every Sunday morning, the coach of the Miami Dolphins takes the hot seat on the Jimmy Johnson Show. Get into the mind of the master every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. on Sports Channel and at 11:30 a.m. on NBC6.
Jim Leavitt's team still early here in the 3rd period. Both teams have had their chances with the football. Both teams 3 and out. And punting for the South Florida Bulls, Tony Umholtz. Standing at his own 28, back to receive is Grove. It's off the side of his foot. Heading right up the sideline. Out of bounds at the 28.
And Umholtz is really upset with himself. I tell you, he's really been an outstanding punter for South Florida up to this point. That's one of the few poor punts he's hit. He might have been able to, trying to directional punt that one. I'm not sure. Let's see if Drake now gets back to their offensive game plan. With run and play action on 1st down, they've been successful doing that. I'm surprised they haven't gone to a little bit more of the one back and run the trap play.
From the 28, 1st and 10. They looked like they were going to try to reverse. And how about Brian Wilson coming out of nowhere to nail the quarterback, Bell?
That was unbelievable. I'll tell you what set up that play. They brought the Z motion in. Wilson saw it and blitzed. And that was really done totally on the motion. You can't quite see the motion in, but that's what sent it. He's trying to crack him, and he doesn't do it. Wow, that is a terrific play by Wilson. Really aggressive, good, hard-nosed football right there.
It looked like that Drake was trying to set up a reverse of some type, and Wilson smelled it out very well.
Sure
That's Schimberg in motion, and he may have been going upfield a little early. No flag. Bell in trouble. Here comes Woods. He ain't going to get away from Woods.
No. Solon Bell's got no chance. I don't think there's a quarterback in the country that can beat Woods to the corner with his speed and quickness.
Well, Woods is 5'11", 200 pounds, but he's so strong, and he has all the quickness to go with that size.
He has tremendous burst right here, and he's such a strong young guy. You know, and he's been a little bit dinged up. We have not really seen Demetrius Woods do the things that he's capable of doing. This is the first game he's really been healthy. And I'll tell you, now we're seeing why this coaching staff is so excited about him.
Drake is going backwards. 3rd and 17. Bell just lays it out there. He's got a receiver. Giovanetti had it right in his hands. He could have had the ball at midfield.
That's one of their most favorite patterns. They run the smash corner routes with a deep corner route to the inside receiver. He had the corner beat. It was a great throw. Look, the ball was thrown before he even made his cut. You know, he's got to make that catch. Boy, that is a big play for South Florida there to get away with that one.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Well,
and the Bulls were lucky in that situation because Newsom was beat.
Yes, he sure was.
Jackson back at the 45. Very high punt. This is a boomer. And Jackson is tackled at the 45-yard line. 8:15 left to go in the 3rd period. The South Florida Bulls still lead by 5 over the Bulldogs from Drake.
There are people who think water polo is not a game for a man. They're right. This is no game. He is not just a man. It is a sport, and he is an athlete, just like a football player, just like a basketball player, just like a baseball player. GTE is proud to be the official telecommunications consultant to the NCAA because of him and the pure spirit of college athletics.
Hey, Marlins fans, Mr. Birthday Billy the Marlin has a special invitation for all kids 12 and under. It's Billy's Birthday Bash, sponsored by Carvel Ice Cream. Billy's Birthday Bash is the most birthday fun groups of 10 kids or more can have, with your choice of pizza, subs, or hot dogs, plus a birthday cake, birthday invitations, a visit from the Bleacher Brigade, and much more. All hosted by Billy the Marlin. So call 930-HITS today for Billy's Birthday Bash.
Midway through the 3rd quarter, South Florida Bulls still lead by a score of 15-10. Their touchdowns tonight coming on a 32-yard touchdown run by Jermaine Clemens, a 42-yard fumble recovery for touchdown by Anthony Henry, and a 30-yard field goal by Steve Riggs. And the Bulls have it at their own 45-yard line, 1st and 10. Barnhart, quick pass. Scott Rivers over midfield. Good gain on 1st down.
Listen to these numbers for Barnhart so far this evening. That makes him 14 for 25, 181 yards. The big number and the key number, no interceptions. This young guy has thrown 1 interception in really 2.5 football games, and that was forcing the ball in last week late in the game.
It was an interception. It really hurt him as they're trying to drive for the winning or tying touchdown late in the game, but Citadel was just standing back and waiting for the pass. Clemens, very little running room. Jake Wilson, we've been calling his number all night for the Bulldogs from Drake.
Yeah, Drake is really playing tough up front, really tough up front. And that looks like Cedric Bell down for South Florida. Well, that was a great fill by the linebacker right there. You know, good fundamental football. You young guys out there, watch them bend their knees and get their leverage. It's a game of leverage, and leverage is always the key thing in a football game. Those backers really attack the lead block by the fullback because, you know, Otis Dixon, he's a low. But if you get lower than Otis Dixon, you're going to win that battle 9 out of 10 times.
A very warm evening tonight, and it's especially warm there on the floor of the stadium. Cedric Bell going down.
You know, while we have a second, I wanted to get back to one point on the tight ends and why Drake has stand-up tight ends. They do it for really 3 reasons. One, the tight end makes a lot of their blocking calls and he can see the defensive front. 2, he can also see the coverage downfield on the pre-snap looks. degree, it helps him on his blitz control because he can see the blitz coming, and he's the blitz control receiver for him. Now, you know what? There's two pretty darn good tight ends on the field tonight. Jonathan Hayes was a great player for us at Kansas City when we drafted him. And, of course, he came from Iowa where Hayden Fry had stand-up tight ends. Calvin McGee was a heck of a player for us here at Tampa Bay. He has never been a stand-up tight end, although really, honestly, Calvin thought he should have been a wide receiver. I have to say that now, Al. But he had great hands, Calvin. It was a nice feature they did on him at the half. Calvin McGee was a heck of a player. He really had great soft hands.
Cedric Bell, very woozy, making his way over to the bench. 3rd and short. Clements in the hole very quickly. He's got the first down and much more.
Great job of running by situation. 3rd and 2, saw a crack up inside, lowered his shoulders, got the first down. Terrific awareness.
Look how quickly he gets in the hole.
He really does. And, you know, this is the inside toss. They haven't run that much. In fact, this is really, I think, new in this game plan. They've been running the outside toss, and now they came back and ran the inside toss in a critical situation, got him a key first down.
First down at the 40. In motion is Dell. Same play, other side. Very, very little. Jake Wilson among several making the tackle for the Bulldogs of Drake.
Smart veteran football team. Really doesn't take them long to adjust. Terrific job.
The attendance tonight, Doug, 33,827.
Wow.
How many Division I AA programs can say they pulled in 33,000?
Most 1A programs would kill to get that kind of attendance. I'll tell you what a tribute to Tampa and the University of South Florida.
Second down and 9. Good protection. Looking for Dell.
He threw that one away. That was pretty darn well covered. That's why you don't see him throwing the interceptions. He does not force balls into coverage.
You know, we mentioned the attendance tonight, 33,827, nearly 34,000. Now, this is about the same attendance. To put this into perspective, the same attendance is what they had for the 1AA championship game last year. And this is only the 3rd game of the season. Tampa has come out strong for football, college football, and the University of South Florida.
Amazing.
From the 39, 3rd and long. Barnhart has a wide open receiver. Porter driven out of bounds at the 32. Let's go down to the field. Jonathan Hayes.
Fellas, I tell you what, these Drake Bulldogs are tough as their names, their nicknames, because these guys have not faltered one bit. They're hanging in there. I haven't seen one player over here with cramps. They're fighting their rear ends off, and they're trying to find a way to win this ball game. And their offense needs to get their defense off the field, and they need to get a drive together and try to get a score on the board. Back to you guys.
Talked about it before. Jim Levitt not afraid to go for it on 4th down. 4th and 2. Crowd on its feet. Barnhart to the air. He's got a receiver, Rivers. Rivers with a lot of room inside the 10, the 5. Touchdown, South Florida on 4th down.
He hit Marcus Rivers on a crossing route, and I'll tell you, he threw a bullet. Great job of advancing the football. And boy, some of the young receivers for South Florida are stepping up tonight. Boy, there you see the speed again. The speed has been the difference in the game, no question about it, in the big plays.
Riggs to attempt the point after. He's missed one tonight. But this one's good. We're under 6 minutes in the 3rd. The South Florida Bulls haul out yet another big play and prove that speed kills. The Bulls lead it by 12.
From behind the
wheel, you might think of Dodge Caravan as a car. Probably because in some ways it is. Its cab-forward, wheels-to-the-corners design makes it stable and sure-footed, a lot like a car. Its advanced suspension makes it nimble and agile, a lot like a car. With all the utility of a spacious four-door van, all of which suggests we got the name right, Caravan. Now get up to $1,000 cash back during the Dodge Big Summer Clearance.
Powder or glazed? What do you think?
On the beach. Let's move it.
What about my donut?
You with the weights! Hey! Drop the weights.
Huh? He said drop the weights!
You didn't buy these at Jumbo Sports, did you?
No. Did I do something wrong? Yeah, you pay too much.
You're out of here.
Good call.
At Jumbo Sports, you're guaranteed the low price on everything you need for any sport.
Suspicious volleyball activity, 2 o'clock.
Let's move.
Big plays aplenty for the South Florida Bulls. Now they have a 32-yard pass play from Barnhart to the freshman Rivers, and the Bulls run their lead to 22-10. Barnhart, 16 of 28, 216 yards and the touchdown. Rivers with now 3 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown. 32 coming right there on the 4th down play. Doug Graber.
Absolutely, and Marcus Rivers, the fastest of the wide receiver corps. You know, he has really stepped up big tonight, and that was really the key play of the game up to this point. 4th down, touchdown, 12-point lead.
Rico Chapman from his own 10, and he has a lane. Well, the Bulls have had trouble covering kickoffs in their young history, and they get burned there. Big return by Chapman and the Bulldogs from Drake.
Well, let's take a look at Barnhart on this. Let's see if he looks off the linebacker. Great protection, first of all. That really set it up. And that's just a poor match across the field with Rivers against the safety. And he just can't hang with him even on the crossing route. Touchdown. Great play, 12-point lead. Barnhart has really been impressive. He's getting better each week. You know, Jim Levitt told me that he thought that he had really improved this week in practice. And you can certainly see it here. That was a terrific patience and poise. Now on 4th down, Al, it's not easy to wait for that receiver to come all the way across the field. And but great protection up front, that set it up. Excellent poise by the quarterback. He waited for him to come clear. Boom, made a terrific throw. And of course, that young guy with his speed, it was all over from that point on.
It did not take the South Florida Bulls very long, and that is the kicker, Riggs, who made the tackle on the play, and he is very slow coming off the field. Excuse me, that was Ryan Reardon who kicked off. It was not Riggs.
That's too bad. That looks like a shoulder injury, either a burner. You know, you always think possible separation, you just don't know. And the kickers, you know, they're not used to making that contact like that. They really don't like to see them have to, because they're not physically strong enough or ready to make those kind of contacts.
But he made a key tackle on a 37-yard gain. Drake coming right back down by 12. And we'll start off this series at the South Florida 45. Bell right to the air. And he pays for it. Vassay Mark coming around the corner, and he rung his bell.
Well, he certainly did. And Vassay Mark, you know, he was a linebacker last week, as you recall. They moved him to defensive end because they think he's going to be a kid that's going to get a lot. That's a terrific move that he beat the offensive tackle. I don't think you'll see Vassay Mark at linebacker anymore. You're going to see him rushing the passer as a defensive end. He shows a lot of promise. Again, quickness and speed is the key. He ran really right by the tackle, made a good move, but he had the speed and quicks to beat him to the corner and around.
6'2", 220 pounds, great quickness. And he really beat his man into the ground. I mean, he got around him in a hurry.
He runs a 4.6 40, Al. And I'll tell you what, wouldn't you just love to have defensive ends that run that well? And it shows right there.
And again, he's only a freshman, so he's going to grow.
Yeah, you know, Jim Levitt is trying to get as much speed on the field as he can on this defense, because the whole defense is based on speed.
4:47 left to go in the third. Bulls lead by 12. We'll have more in a moment.
Behind the wheel, you might think of Dodge Caravan as a car, probably because in some ways it is. Its cab-forward wheels-to-the-corners design makes it stable and sure-footed, a lot like a car. Its advanced suspension makes it nimble and agile, a lot like a car. With all the utility of a spacious four-door van, all of which suggests we got the name right, Caravan. Now get up to $1,000 cash back during the Dodge Big Summer Clearance.
How about the South Florida defense in the second half? You know, it was very close as far as yardage was concerned between these two teams in the first half. So far, here in the third period, USF has rolled up 70 yards. Drake has a negative 12.
Well, I think that Drake really has played right into their hands because they got away from the running game on first down and they started going one back and playing into the speed of South Florida.
2nd and 15. Quick handoff. That's the fullback. Nobody around him. Henry making a key tackle, but not before the Bulldogs get a first down.
That's the trap play that they ran so successfully on first down in the first half, really in the first quarter, and they haven't come back to it. You see the quick trap, they got the penetration up front, and then nobody there. That's a great job running the trap. Good tackle in the open field by Anthony Henry. And now, you know, boom, they're down to the 32-yard line and back and threatening again. This team, there's going to be no quit in Drake, I'll tell you. They're too much of a veteran team.
First down at the 31. Grove, and he is hit hard. Marshall Smith on the tackle for the South Florida Bulls.
That was a stunt, and again, using their quickness. Got Marshall Smith on a stunt, sees the gap, takes it. Look at him, good pursuit to the football. You know, I talked to him this week. He was a wrestling champ in high school. I think they list him at 5'11". I'm going to tell you something. He's about 5'9". But boy, he has the look of a football player, and he sure looked like it there. He's a tough, competitive guy.
Well, the way he stuck his head in there, he may be 5'7" after that play. From the 32. Grove again. Gets it over the 30-yard line, but nothing more. Steve Hatley, the tackle for the South Florida Bulls.
Another blitz, and Rick Kravitz, defensive coordinator, he's pinning the ears back and sent them sick-em, playing some sick-em defense right now, running blitz and stunts on almost every play. This all was set up by the kickoff return, and really the kickoff return was set up by a kick to the middle of the field. He didn't get it to either sideline.
From the 29, 3rd and 7. Flag down. He's got Boyer. Boyer has first down yardage and then some inside the 15-yard line, but it may come back.
Well, that time they beat South Florida at their own game. They ran the quick crossing route against man-to-man coverage. And you see Demetrius Woods he had the first crosser and he just couldn't quite pick him up coming across the field on the quick route by Boyer. Boy, Demetrius Woods can run. There's not many linebackers around that could get beat on the crossing route and catch up.
Offside, defense, first down.
They must have lined up offsides. I didn't see any movement. We'll see. Obviously, you see that the phones are working on both sidelines now. So now the rule is both sets of coaches on both sidelines obviously get their phones back on, and we're back in business.
From the 15. Drake on the march again. 2:54 and counting in the 3rd. Bulls are up by 12. Schimberg in motion. Grove has some blocking. Turns the corner. Inside the 10. Pulled down by Marshall.
Excellent job of game day coaching by the Drake staff. They changed the coverage to a cover 3 or a force to the other side. South Florida had no force to the counter. And that's really the reason that you got the gain, this 6-7 yard gain. They didn't have a force guy because they changed their force on the motion, Al.
2nd and 4. Inside the 10. Quick snap. Schumberg. Touchdown.
We got a football game. I'll tell you what, this Drake team is going to keep coming at you, and coming at you, and coming at you. And the way they can run the football, we should have a great fourth quarter football here. This will be a tremendous finish. And again, for the second week in a row, we're seeing a young football team being put in a crucial situation in the fourth quarter. You see the stand-up tight end, and they just ran a quick belly, and very poor gap control. Good movement off the ball by the Drake offensive line. And still, even though South Florida's ahead, the Drake offensive line really has had far the better of it for most of this football game.
And Drake is going for 2. They figure they're down by 6. The fumbled snap. And Bell has nowhere to go. Derriman Edwards on the tackle for the South Florida Bulls, along with Brett Avery.
Well, that's a big play, because now they need another touchdown, and that certainly helps in a game position, field position game like this. That was important. Yeah, I think he just pulled out early. Yeah, boy, crucial situations, young quarterbacks, they get antsy, they get a little anxious to get going. He might not have had a lot of confidence in the play, pulled out early, ball on the ground. You've seen it happen over and over in every level of football. Grade school to the NFL.
One more look at the touchdown. Looks like Schimberg had a freeway into the end zone.
Well, they caught him in a blitz, and I don't know whether it was Edwards, of course, or who it was, but somebody was in the wrong gap, obviously. They'll have to look at that on film, and they'll be looking at that tomorrow and getting that straightened out.
Watch the Jim Levitt Show, presented by Hops Bar and Grill, every Saturday morning this fall at 9 o'clock on WTOG Channel 44 and on Sports Channel at 11:30. Rob Ash talking to his football team. South Florida Bulls have their lead cut to 6. That's Rivers. Slips down inside the 20-yard line.
Important series for the South Florida offense now. Let's take a look at Rivers here. He just hit it. This usually is the best field that there is in the NFL, but it looks like he hit a spot and his left foot just went out from under him. Big series here for Chad Barnhart and the offense. And I don't see Cedric Bell back in there. That's not a good sign for South Florida. That's Brian McNulty at left guard.
From the 18, 1st and 10. Bulls lead 22-16. Quick pass. That's McCready, and then he drops the football again. That is the second time he's made a big play, and he's dropped the football.
Oh, that's a touchdown. Oh, he's got to be sick. And I thought there was movement before the snap here. Let's see, the officials are conferring right now, but I didn't see a flag. Something was out of sync on the snap. What a strike. He just lost the football.
You're right. That is a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, that's obvious procedure. I can't believe the officials could miss that. Obvious illegal procedure.
If you're Rob Ash, you're really unhappy with that call. 17 of 29, 244 yards and a touchdown.
Here's an audible.
Barnhart, plenty of time. Has Dell over midfield.
Well, I'll tell you what, he has come out in the third quarter here and made some great throws. He is a very impressive guy. He's had a great week of practice, and there's nothing that gives you confidence as a quarterback more than when you make the right reads in practice and make the throws. Hey, 99 out of 100 times you do it in the game. You practice the way you play, and you play the way the practice.
Great camera work there. You could see the eyes of Barnhart looking off the defender. They're looking one way, coming back the other, and making the 8-yard gain. From the 46, 2nd and 2. Clemens falls down well behind the line of scrimmage, and he is behind midfield.
We got a severe case of the fall downs without being hit here all of a sudden in this drive. That's the second time on the kickoff return in there. That hurts. And, you know, South Florida is putting the strength of the formation into the short side of the field. And I'm sure they're doing that for coverage to get the corner off to the wide side of the field.
16 seconds remaining in the third period. The Bulls lead it 22-16.
You know, and Jim Leavitt, when he took this job, he's really obviously a very hard-working guy. But when he took this job, he was asked where he was going to live. And his response, in my office. Like a lot of coaches do. Let's see if we can get this one sorted out.
Well, they're obviously keeping it to themselves right now.
This is a Conference USA crew.
21 seconds on the game clock. 21 seconds on the game clock.
Okay, we're trying to get the game clock to where it should be.
Well, Doug, we both know at our age, 5 seconds means an awful lot. We need all the help we can get sometimes. An extra 5 seconds in our lives.
Exactly. Okay. Boy, that really hurt. They had second and short, and now they end up with third and long. That was tough.
Third down from the 49 Clemens. A fine game so far. 32 of those on a touchdown run. The stunt. Barnhart has Rivers. First down yardage and then some to the 40.
Big time play. Big time play in a crucial situation. And the young redshirt freshman Rivers really made a heck of a catch there.
And that's the end of the third period. The South Florida Bulls are on the march. Their lead has been cut to 6. 22-16, the fourth quarter after this.
Imagine your 1998 season tickets getting you into 1997 postseason games. Place a deposit on 1998 Marlins season tickets today, and if the Marlins go to the postseason, you can too. That's right, place a deposit on 1998 season tickets now, and you'll have the opportunity to purchase tickets for the 1997 postseason. The best seats for next season are available now, so call 930-HITS today. Be here when it happens.
You better sit down and buckle up for this fourth quarter. We've got a wild
this is going to be a good one.
15 minutes set for you here. Good-looking fans at the stadium tonight. This is young football team home for the second time in its history. From the 40, crucial drive here, 1st and 10. As we open the fourth quarter of action, Barnhart, quick drop. Scott Porter.
You know, there's a reason that this Drake team was 8-3 last year. I mean, you know, obviously they have good football players, but they know how to win games in the fourth quarter. This will be an outstanding fourth quarter.
How about Porter going up high to pull that in?
The receivers, Porter and Rivers and McCready, have all really jumped up for South Florida tonight. Cliff Dell was far and away their leading receiver, but now all three of these young guys are making plays.
By the way, Barnhart, 8 of 12 in the third quarter, passing for 99 yards. Again, great protection. He's got Rivers right over the middle. Down inside the 15, very close to the 20-yard line. Rivers already has a touchdown tonight, and he's rolling up some big numbers for the South Florida Bulls. You're playing defensive back, you try to stop this.
Yeah, and again, watch the look off. Watch the look off. Excellent throw. You know, they're playing their zones. They're having patience on defense, which we thought was important. They're playing the zones, but now South Florida is going to force them to blitz and play man-to-man because they're just chewing up the zones here in the third quarter.
South Florida Bulls on the march at the 21-yard line. Barnhart on the fake, going deep, looking for Dell in the corner of the end zone.
Well, that's a mistake by Cliff Dell. Even though the ball was overthrown, you know, you can sometimes draw an interference penalty. He got bumped. He got bumped. That was a hitch and go. That was a hitch and go. And there was total confusion there between Dell and Barnhart.
Barnhart had hit 7 straight. They've marked it at the 20. 2nd and 10. Barnhart gets it away again, looking for Dell. Dell was looking over one shoulder. Barnhart put her over the other.
Right, and that is the exact same route that we saw Drake score on. The outside receiver sits down, and the inside receiver runs a corner route. And the quarterback, it's a timing throw, and he's throwing it to a certain spot in the end zone. And he must have got knocked off his route because he just didn't get to that spot.
News on Cedric Bell, the big offensive lineman out of Bradenton Southeast. Word is he is available for action. We may see him later in this contest.
That's a good sign.
3rd and long from the 20. The blitz.
Yeah,
Here comes the flag.
You got to call that one. You have to call that one.
Luke Jensen, Luke Jansen coming right up Main Street. Had very little resistance.
You know, sometimes on offense you get into a rhythm, and they had been rushing 4 and playing zones, rushing 4 and playing zones, really the whole 3rd quarter. All of a sudden the blitz comes and they don't pick it up, and they've done such a great job all year against the blitz, but that was a crucial situation. Drake had to go to the blitz. I mean, they're beating them inside over the middle of the field on the zones all night long here, especially in the 3rd quarter. They had to go to the blitz. Wasn't very well played.
By the way, that is the first penalty tonight on the South Florida Bulls.
Let's see what this is interesting now. Let's see.
Ineligible receiver downfield against the offense. That penalty is declined. We have intentional grounding against the offense. That's 5 yards and loss of down, 4th down.
Well, that's an easy decision. You know, you get the loss of down on the intentional grounding. Obviously, they're going to take that every time.
Tony Umholtz will punt.
That was a huge sack because they really were almost in field position. Of course, now they got to punt the football away.
Grove back at his 10. Umholtz at his 48. And the Bulls had a chance there to pin Drake deep in its own territory. But Drake will get the ball at the 20-yard line. 13:26 left to go in regulation. South Florida Bulls lead Drake by 6.
Next stage, next grade, next wave.
Hold it down, feel the noise. Let them know it's a vibe. Pick it up with the line. Move over, yeah, don't do it over. 'Cause it's over, yeah, yeah, yeah. A generation next.
Next stage, next grade, next wave.
Generation next, generation next. Generation next.
Hey, Roy. Can you get the lights?
Sure, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Watch your Mutiny defeat DC United Friday night, September 26th. 10,000 free Honda seat cushions. Game time, 7:30.
Major League Soccer. The stuff kicks.
We're underway, 4th quarter. In Tampa, Bulls lead by 6. You see the time remaining in regulation. Be ready for anything tonight from what we've seen so far.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be worried about the trap play. That's the one play that they've struggled with.
The draw. Busting through. Grove very close to that first down.
This is a running team, and they do it very, very well. That's why they've won so many games since Rob Ash has been there. And for them to get out of their game plan, I think, is a mistake. They got all kinds of time. It helps them on the other side of the ball. Run it, and try to control the clock. Force South Florida to blitz and get them into 9-man fronts to try to stop the run.
Second and very short. With the way this team can play action, this could be dangerous. That's Grove. He's got the first down and a ton more, over the 40.
Had a huge seam on the right side of the South Florida defense. And again, they're just coming off the football now. You got those 2 freshman defensive tackles in there. And I don't know whether they're getting worn down or somebody blew a blitz. But boy, look at the left tackle came down. They chopped the defensive end. Demetrius Woods missed on the backside pursuit. And you got a big play.
Drake on the march. 12:23 left to go in the fourth quarter. Flag down.
I can't imagine what this is before the snap. I mean, before almost the alignment. Whether the center moved the ball, let's see. I'll be anxious to see what this is.
Dead ball. Full start. Offense. 5 yards. First down.
The center must have jumped the ball. Rob Ash wants to know what. Wait a minute. What is this call? They threw it right away. The umpire threw the flag.
Could it be that the center, Julian Collins, picked the ball up and moved it forward a ways?
Well, you know, and he has been doing that, and I think that's exactly what the call was.
Only the third penalty tonight for Drake. Interesting, if you're a Drake fan, that they start calling that play here in the fourth quarter. Bell just lofts it out there, looking for Boyer.
That was David Thompson, and Boyer just flat beat him. Boyer's their #1 receiver. He's their go-to guy. He's certainly their best receiver, a young guy out of Brookfield, Wisconsin. Here's the center. You can see what excellent protection. Boy, they're not getting close. Terrific throw right down the center of the field.
Now, where's the safety in that situation? Does he have help on that play?
The safety was again, you know, you're playing a 9-man front, and the safety is it's 1st and 15. That's what we're talking about. That's what running the ball does for you.
Inside the 20, 1st and 10. Grove squirts out of trouble over the 15.
They ran the counter trey back into the boundary. Really, South Florida played it pretty well, but again, did not have a force guy, and the ball bounced all the way outside. Look at Grove. I'll tell you, Grove is a good football. These 2 running backs are impressive. This kid runs 4.6. He makes the right read. Marshall Smith lowered his head and lost his balance and jumped inside. Ball went outside.
Hey, with the big tackle, may have prevented a touchdown. Grove sitting this one out. That's Schimberg, the fullback, and he closes in on the goal line.
On this drive, it's been men against boys. I mean, they're just knocking them off the football, running the football right down their throats, doing what they do best, and they certainly have got South Florida on their heels right now. Here comes the goal line defense.
Well, you know things are going your way when your fullback has 107 yards and some 10 carries.
Drake has brought the big guys in there in their power offense. They've got 3 tight ends in the game here. They're just going to try to knock it in the end zone now.
From the 2 with 10:42, the Bulls would love to force a turnover. Grove hit immediately.
That's a good defensive surge by South Florida.
Let's go down to the field. Jonathan Hayes.
Guys, they are just controlling the line of scrimmage. It's incredible. Drake's getting a big push up front. They're making holes. They're running through them. They got down on the goal line. They're going to try to push it in right now. Back to you guys.
A gain of maybe 8 inches. 10 minutes left to go. Second. And a short 2. Hey, excuse me, Bell losing the football. Could that be the turnover the Bulls were looking for?
Well, I think he got back on it and covered it, but that's the second time now that this young quarterback has made a crucial mistake for him on the 4th down play earlier, and certainly right here.
A loss on the play. Simply had trouble with the exchange.
Yep, he just lost the exchange, and that's what's amazing about South Florida. They've got 30 of those young players like that out there.
3rd and goal from the 4. Schimberg fights his way, keeps fighting. Beautiful tackle over there by Anthony Henry and Steve Hatley, preventing the touchdown.
Boy, Schimberg didn't want to go down. He really runs with a good pad level. Watch him get his pads down here. Attack. He's a strong player. Boy, he's a good back. You can see why he's going to be their career rushing leader. He's a good football player.
4th and goal from inside the 2. There is no field goal kicker on the field.
Huge play.
This could be a key in the ball game. Grove fights his way to the goal line.
No signal. There it is.
Now they're calling it a touchdown for Drake.
They ran the stretch play. And the goal line defense. And that's a good job of that back running north and south. Let's take a good look here. Yeah, they ran the stretch play. Fullback seals inside, and Grove's a big, strong back. Yeah, he's in the end zone. That's a good call. That ball just barely crossed the line.
Going for the lead is Chris Willis. The point after attempt. And it's good. And for the first time since early in the 2nd period, Drake has come back to lead the ball game. They drive a long ways to take the go-ahead touchdown, 23-22.
There are people who think water polo is not a game for a man. They're right. This is no game. He is not just a man. It is a sport, and he is an athlete, just like a football player, just like a basketball player, just like a baseball player. GTE is proud to be the official telecommunications consultant to the NCAA because of him and the pure spirit of college athletics.
Powder or glazed? What do you think?
On the beach. Let's move it.
What about my donut?
You with the weights! Hey! Drop the weights.
Huh? He said drop the weights!
You didn't buy these at Jumbo Sports, did you?
No. Did I do something wrong?
Yeah, you pay too much.
You're out of here.
Good call.
At Jumbo Sports, you're guaranteed the low price on everything you need for any sport.
Suspicious volleyball activity, 2 o'clock.
Let's move.
Drake with the lead at 23-22, and here's our GTE long distance play of the game. Barnhart.
Step drop.
It's got the freshman Rivers. 32 yards. Remember, that was on a 4th down play. That gave the Bulls a 22-10 lead, but Drake has come back. That was still our GTE long distance play of the game. Charlie Jackson back to receive the kickoff, along with the man that scored the touchdown on the GTE long distance play of the game, Marcus Rivers.
We're watching a young football team trying to grow up, and they just got a very valuable lesson from Drake. Those veterans, there's no quitting those kids. They're going to keep going and keep playing and just keep playing. Now they've got the lead in the 4th quarter with a great 80-yard drive to get it.
Willis kicks it to the high side. That's Rivers, and he is pummeled. Again, Jake Wilson, who may be the defensive player tonight for Drake. Wilson and Ganson have made about every tackle, it seems, from the linebackers of Drake.
Yeah, you know, and Drake in the second half, they had those two series in a row where they got sacks. But other than that series they went back to what they do best. They went back to their bread and butter. And we got Cedric Bell back in the game for South Florida. That's a great sign. That kid has really got a chance to be a special player.
8:22 left to go in the contest. Bulls are down by 1. Impressive numbers for Barnhart. From the 25. Clemens on the pitch. Cannot turn the corner. Mike Gallagher, the tackle for the Bulldogs of Drake.
Yeah, disciplined defensive team right there. You know, they've struggled running the football really all night. They've made a couple plays here and there, but they have not been consistent. They've had too many zero-gain plays in the running game, and that's really, really difficult to be a consistent offensive team when you can't get at least 2, 3, or 4 yards. Now you're 2nd and 11.
Barnhart with plenty of time. Hits Clemens coming out of the backfield. He fights his way over the 30, close to the 35, and the first down. Noah Joseph coming up to make a key tackle for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and that was really excellent protection up front, and that set up the release. But anytime you can get that back in the flat, then excellent protection up front. All the time in the world, makes an excellent throw. Now you're back to 3rd and about 1.5. Key play.
7:44 and counting in the contest. Bulls are down by 1. 3rd down and 1. Barnhart again to the air. Finds his tight end, Hippolyte. That's good for a first down.
Blitz and a crossing stunt up front. They had a guy come free on the stunt, but the throw was gone by the time he got there. And that's really the danger of the running crossing stunts all the way across the field. You see the left tackle loop around. Pretty darn good protection. He's coming free, but he can't get there. Key first down. Good job of Hippolyte knowing what he had to do for the first down.
Trevor Hippolyte has been a very impressive receiver throughout this season for the South Florida Bulls and makes a big first down catch there.
He sure did.
That's Clemens in motion on first down. Look out! Barnhart gets away once. It's only the 3rd sack this season that the South Florida Bulls have given up.
Otis Dixon missed it. They brought the blitz from the outside. I don't think he saw it at all.
It was amazing he got away from the first guy.
Yeah, it was. And he really had no chance.
Nervous coach on the sidelines, Jim Levitt. Rob Ash on the other side, very happy that his team was able to go on a long drive.
2 nervous coaches, I guarantee.
For the go-ahead. 2nd and 15. Barnhart again. Hurry. Gets it away to Porter. Maybe to the line of scrimmage. Ganson again on the tackle for Drake.
And Drake, against this young offensive line, is having every single play they have some kind of a stunt. I mean, I know I can go back 7 plays in a row now. Every play they have a stunt. Here comes 55, the left end in from the outside, coming back inside. It gets the quarterback moving his feet out of the pocket. It really throws the timing and the rhythm out of your whole offense. And again, against a young offensive line, they're doing a pretty good job picking them up, but it is bothering them.
Gain of 2 on the play. They have to get it to just about midfield to get the first down. Again, the blitz. Coming back the opposite way. That may be a lateral. Let's see. They're saying incomplete.
It's a sprint out, throwback screen. They had it set up. He had a big play, but so much pressure, and he just couldn't quite get it over the top. But that was a sprint out to the left, throw back to the right, and a tight end screen. He set and then set back behind the right guard, right tackle, and center.
Umholtz standing at his 22. Grove at his 25. 5:25 left to go. It's a high kick, but it's short. But it gets a South Florida bounce.
I think that may have hit Dell in the back, and if it did, they'll spot it right there.
5:13 left to go in the contest. The Bulls need some smiles. Crowd quiet. They trail by 1.
We are the team.
We come together prepared for battle.
Attacking the field, we fight for victory.
Every single second of every single game. We strike fear in opposing players.
We strike fear in opposing coaches.
We strike fear in the owners of all-you-can-eat buffets.
We are the team.
That thunder you hear? It's not an afternoon Florida storm. It's Bobby Bonilla hitting homers out of the park. The pennant race heats up when the Marlins take on the Expos. Game 1, September 23rd, 7 p.m. on Sports Channel.
5:13 left to go in the contest. Drake with the football and the lead. 23-22. South Florida Bulls at home, hoping its defense can make Drake go 3 and out and give its offense a chance to go for the win.
You're going to see some 9-man fronts now. Everything they can to stop the run.
Grove hit immediately. Hatley, the key man, on the tackle. Sean Hay also there.
And that's the one formation that the South Florida Bulls have not seen before, and I haven't seen them either on film. They're running a 3 wide receiver set with 2 backs in the backfield. They're running their I formation offense, but by taking the tight end out of the game, they're spreading the South Florida defense and making it harder for them to blitz and stop the run. These are run blitzes now that they're going to be running here. Manned up on the outside. Audible.
Second and long. That's Boyer in motion. The fullback. Fumble. And the Bulls say they have the football. Let's see what the official says. And he says the Bulls have the football. Was that Brett Avery, your former Rutgers Scarlet Knight, on the football?
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a big play by Brett. They ran the trap again. I think he was late getting the handoff. They just missed it totally. They just simply put it on the ground in a crucial situation. That's a redshirt freshman quarterback. Really, he's a sophomore. He played on their JV team last year. Let's take a look at it. I think they just missed the handle on the trap. There it is. They just simply missed the handle. Oh, man.
A couple of Bulls right there on the football, and they have it at the 35, going for the lead. Clemens. Today's game has been brought to you by Beef O'Brady's and by Hops Bar and Grill. Gain of 8 yards on the play, and it could come down to that man. The kicker, Steve Riggs, already has a field goal tonight. Second and 2. Audible. Quick pass. Flag down. Dell was open.
Yeah, and there was some movement in the offensive line in a crucial situation. It happens so often with an audible. It delays the snap count. It really forces guys to concentrate. I think it was the left guard lost his concentration there. There was movement up front. Crucial situation. Yeah, now that's going to put him in a second and about 8.
That was a dead ball. There was no play. False start. Offense. 5 yards. Still second down.
Okay, 2nd and 8. Now here you got a football team with a bunch of freshmen out there in a crucial situation late in the game. Really be fun to see if they can execute here and win this football game. 2 weeks in a row. They failed last week. Here's the second test this week.
I was going to say the Bulls have been here before. By the way, the only senior on this ball club, the kicker, Steve Riggs.
That'd be a nice place to have a senior, isn't it? If you're going to have one, boy, that's great, especially in this situation.
The game clock, the last play should not have gone off. 3:39 on the game clock.
An extra 5 seconds. They have reset the clock. That says it all right there. Bulls down by 1. You see the time remaining.
Let's see if South Florida has the poise to finish off this drive. Well, what a great football game this has been. I'll tell you, this Drake team, you got to take your hats off to them. They have really competed tonight, as has South Florida.
Clemens split left. Dell to the right. Dixon in the backfield. He was looking for Rivers. Either that or he overthrew Dell.
Well, he's really lucky he got that away. He had some intense pressure coming from his blind side. Let's take a look at it. That was an audible. He doesn't see it coming. He's got to feel it. Gets the ball away. So often when people come low on quarterbacks like that, so often the ball gets high. The throws are high.
Play the game.
Huge 3rd down call here. And I really, this would be a very, very tough field goal from this distance. I think they go for it if they don't get it.
They have to get to the 25 for the first down. 3rd and 7. The rollout. Barnhart nearly picked off. Jackson, he was trying to hit Charlie Jackson.
Well, let's give Drake credit. That was very well defense by Drake. They reacted well to the sprint out. It's really the 2nd sprint out we've seen tonight. And here comes Riggs on the field.
Riggs, again, the only senior on this ball club. He's a transfer, kicked at Weber State. Had a 47-yarder at Weber State. Longest here is 30. They're marking it at the 39. This would be a 49-yard attempt. Just short.
I don't think he missed that by much. Let's take a look at it. Let's see how close it was. He didn't get much height on the ball. Not much, Al.
How many times have you heard the cliche, game of inches?
That sure was. Well, but I'll tell you what, the penalty on the audible was the key play in that series. I mean, really, they were in position. Now, had they not had the penalty, that's a good field. The field goal's good.
Key penalty. 3:04 left to go in the contest. The Bull defense forced a turnover last time. The Bulldogs have the football. Grove, plenty of room. Davis on the tackle, but not before. Grove gets a first down. That really hurts the South Florida defense on first down to give up a big gain like that with the clock counting.
I would say Barnhart.
2:48 and counting. You see the time remaining. The Bulls are down by 1. The blitz. Grove gets away. Good gain on first down, getting it to midfield.
Well, they're bringing 10 guys on that blitz, doing everything they can to stop the run. It's a good football team. If Drake can get a first down here, then South Florida is really in trouble. That's a good job by South Florida.
Clock counting down.
They need to start thinking about calling their timeouts here to stop the clock.
We're under 2 minutes. 2nd and 5. Schimberg. Hay and Smith on the tackle. Here's our Pepsi Generation Next player of the game, Chad Barnhart. Incredible game as far as stats are concerned. Look at that, 24-42, 299 yards, 1 touchdown. At one time, he hit 7 in a row during a key third-quarter spree, but he's had trouble here in the late going as the Bulls trail by 1 as we're closing in on the final minute of play. Schimberg. And that all save a turnover. Wraps it up for Drake.
Al, the difference in this game to me clearly has been the veterans in the offensive and defensive. They have won this game in the trenches tonight, talking about Drake. Their offensive line has played extremely well. It really shows their strength and their maturity because really all night long they have really dominated the line of scrimmage in terms of the running game. South Florida has used their strength well and their speed well. But boy, you can really see why this football team has won so many games over the past 6 years under Rob Ash. He has an outstanding coach. They have a good philosophy. They know what kind of players they have, and they play to their abilities. They have run the football extremely well tonight.
Today's Bulls telecast has been brought to you by the new Dodge. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you. By GTE, the official telecommunications consultant to the NCAA. By Pepsi, Generation Next. And by Transworld Diversified Services, transforming companies and careers. 58 seconds remaining in the contest. The Bulls trail by 1, 23-22. Here's Anthony Henry. Has a touchdown tonight. The defense gave the offense an opportunity, recovering the fumble deep in Drake territory, but the Bulls miss out on the 49-yard field goal try.
That's a heartbreaker. You know, Jim Leavitt, he's more concerned with getting all the tools in place and getting the priorities of this program straight. Yeah, he wants to win right now, but he's got to get things set for down the road.
Grove at the 30. Brian Newsom coming up to make the tackle. 48 seconds. You see the time remaining in the contest. Bulls trail 23-22. And the Bulls call a timeout.
You know, and 3 years from now and 2 years from now, this young football team, you know, they can learn from this, Al, and they can go on from. Most of this team, you know, is going to be playing for South Florida in the year 2000. All these freshmen are gaining extremely valuable experience. They've gone up against a very, very good veteran Drake football team tonight. They've played hard. They didn't get it done in the crucial time of the game. And that's typical of a freshman team. They get excited, and you have to hand it. You have really got to take your hat off to Drake. They've come here. They've played very, very hard. They've played to their strength, and it's been an outstanding game for them, especially in the offensive and defensive lines.
By the way, our next television game for you Sports Channel viewers, Southern Illinois, right here at USF. I believe that is homecoming. So a big game for the South Florida Bulls. That'll be October 18th, 7 o'clock on Sports Channel, and you won't want to miss that. There's a guy that has played one whale of a game for Drake, Luke Ganson. He has led that Bulldog defense along with Jake Wilson. They have been all over the field, and they have stopped the South Florida Bulls time and time again. Drake not about to take a chance.
Listen to these numbers for their two great backs. Schemberger, 14 carries, 123 yards, and Grove has 23 carries for 100 yards. You know, that's an outstanding job of those two backs. They're big, strong backs that run north and south, get their pad level down. You know, they run the counter. The trap hurt them tonight. The counter hurt them tonight. But the offensive line is what really did it.
False start, offense. 5 yards, Second down.
By the way, take the opportunity to watch the Jim Levitt show. Hear him talk about this game and some of the games he has coming up. Presented by Hops Grill and Bar. Every Saturday morning this fall, 9 o'clock on WTOG Channel 44 and at 11:30 in the morning on Sports Channel. Going down on the knee is Bell. Clock winding down, final 30 seconds. Jim Levitt, I'm sure, very disappointed, but again, he has to look at the big picture. And his team is hung right in there with a storied program from Division I AA.
This is a terrific 1AA program. And I'll be surprised if this team doesn't win 9 games. I really thought that going in. I think they're an outstanding team. I think they'll win 9 games. I could see them certainly advancing to the playoffs. They have an outstanding team, and that's an outstanding program. These kids don't need to hang their heads. Learn from it. They'll come back next week. This will be an outstanding team.
Disappointment on the faces of the South Florida Bulls. The Bulls had the lead going into the fourth quarter, but they give up a 1-yard run for the 23-22 win for Drake. The South Florida Bulls fall to 1-2 on the season. So a heartbreaking loss, second week in a row for the South Florida Bulls. This time they lose by 1 to Rob Ash and the Drake Bulldogs. I'm Al Keck for Doug Graber and Jonathan Hayes, repeating the final score. Drake wins it by a score of 23-22. Once again, the Bulls fall to 1-2 on the season. And this has been a production of ESPN Regional. So long, everybody.